Friday evening, wet, humid, and we have had a lot of rain today, folks. The field conditions tonight between Hampton and Bethel is really going to take a toll, I think, on the field. Also on both teams, too. Hampton coming in here with a 7-1 overall record will be playing the host team tonight, the Bethel Bruins. And they are also 7-1. Both teams tied for second place, trailing by one game to the Phoebus Phantoms, the Division I state titleists, and also the number one team ranked in the state for the year. Our sponsors for tonight's game, Zooms, with convenient locations throughout the peninsula. Also, Kelly's Tavern. They have two locations, one at Port Warwick in Newport News and Coliseum Drive in Hampton. Along with Tidewater Team Sports, where the guys over there take care of all our screen printing, embroidery, and uniforms and apparel. Call David Chubb or Terry McNamara to take care of anything you need in the way of sports paraphernalia. Along with Eric Thompson, Realtor, Hampton alum. He is a realtor for William Wood and Sons, and if you need to sell or buy a property, you take care of it with him. Parklawn Wood Funeral Home is also sponsoring the team. The games this year at 827-4670 with Nancy Staten as the manager, as they have been taking care of sponsoring WHCS 46 now for a few years. And back here at Darling Stadium in Hampton, what we'll do now is we'll send it down to the field where my co-host tonight, Brett Musgrove, has Hampton's head coach, Mike Smith, on the field to chat a little bit about tonight's game and the weather and the conditions on the field.
Thanks, Mike. I'm here with head coach Mike Smith, 37 years Hampton Crabber head coach. Was thinking about it today, Coach, and you made mention to it. There's not a team on the peninsula, or especially in Hampton, it hadn't been a rivalry of Hampton at one time as they come along. When they open up, all of a sudden they're a Hampton rival. And here we are back with Bethel again, people trying to build that back to one, and I think it is. What do you think?
They're awfully good this year. You know, it reminds me of some of the old teams they had back in the past years. They're more disciplined, and they're playing a little different. They're wide open, you know. Back when Kyles was there and he and Shoop, they don't pound it at. They didn't throw it that much, but these guys are throwing the ball a lot and doing a great job with it. And of course, with John Taylor, they've got a great running back. And defensively, they've been tough. So they're a good football team.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this weather here tonight. It's 2 inches of water standing on the field. Do you think that's going to affect anybody's game plans or what?
I don't know if it was 2 inches or not. They may be a half inch out there in some places. It doesn't look like it doesn't drain quite as well as I thought it would, but probably affect the game some. But, you know, that's football. You play in the rain sometimes and play in the snow sometimes, but that's the fun of the game. As long as it's not light and thunder, we're all right.
Well, let me just ask you this one thing. I want to talk about Billy Evans a little bit. He's on both sides of the ball. He's quick, gets to the ball fast. Tell us a little bit about his importance to the team.
Well, Billy does run well, and I think he catches the ball particularly well coming out of the backfield. He's one of our better receivers, probably our best receiver coming out of the backfield by far. Defensively, he's been around on the defensive side of the ball now for 3 years, playing linebacker. And actually, last week we moved him to outside, from inside to outside. We found the need to move him and put Wilson back, but he's done a good job for us. He and Pierre Wynn both have done a good job inside, so they've played well all year.
Well, I've noticed last week Shaw caught 4 passes. A great little article in the paper about him. Got to talk to him on the phone this week. Seemed to be a real happy young man. What does he mean to you?
Well, Paul Shaw's he's just a really great safety, you know, a strong hitter, very enthusiastic type of guy. We just haven't thrown much to him this year, but he catches the ball really well, and got him over on the split side last week, and they gave him a lot on the slant, so he kind of took what they give us. We stumbled around throwing a little bit, you know. It was a little wet the other night also, so but he does a good job. He's a hard worker. He's a great kid, so hopefully we can get the ball to him a little bit more.
Last question, and you've already answered it partly. What do you expect out of Bethel in this weather tonight? Anything different?
I don't think so. I don't think it really is wet enough to change your game plan that much. I think you keep the ball dry. Probably gives the receiver a little bit of advantage sometimes in the fact that he knows where he's going. So probably puts you more back in zone defense, takes you a lot of man-to-man because of the cut routes and so forth. But we'll wait and see. They throw the ball well. I'm sure they throw it well in the rain. They run the ball well, so I don't think it's going to affect either team that much.
Guys, thanks, Coach. I want to thank you for coming over and talk with us. Guys, you just heard an expert talk about the game of football. Thanks a lot, Mike. Back up to you.
Thank you.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot. Good job there with Coach Mike Smith. Crabber's 7-1 on the season. Their only loss was to the undefeated Phoebus Phantoms by a score of 24-0 a couple of weeks ago. Talk a little bit about the Bethel Bruins. They are also 7-1, and their only loss of the game came really early in the season. And again, that was to the undefeated Phoebus Phantoms by a score of 30-27 on a last-minute field goal by Matt Cole. That was one of those types of games that was really up and down, and it was a tough game to go. Let's send it down to the field now where Brent now has the Bethel Bruin head football coach, and that would be Jeff Nelson.
Thanks again, Mike. I'm here with head coach Jeff Nelson, first-year coach of the Bethel Bruins, and what a start for a new head coach. 7-1. The only loss comes to the team that's rated number 1 in the state, and that was by 3 points in the last minute or so. You got to be proud of what these kids have done for you and the way they've responded for you.
I have. They've worked hard. We started on August 1st and just talking about being a family and working together, and it's paid off for us. You know, sometimes it's been tough, and we've been able to come back on some games, and so it's great. These kids are great, and the coaching staff is great too. So I'm enjoying it.
Well, the first part of the year you have deciding about quarterback. Now you've settled on McClone English. It looks like. Tell us what he brings to your team.
Well, he throws the ball, as you can see, you know, against Woodside. He had 388 yards, and he's been working hard. But you got to talk about the backup, too, because the backup's right on his heels and pushing him to be better. And so Teddy Baycoat. And they both work hard, and they bring – Ayers just brings a little bit of more excitement to the offense, and he's got it under his belt right now. And but them two battling, that helps out a lot.
Yeah, when you know somebody's looking at you over your shoulder, it keeps you a little bit on your toes, doesn't it? This also I want to talk about somebody that's really impressed me is Cooper Wood. Now, he's playing offense and defense. He's catching passes, and he's really playing big games on defense for you.
Yeah, he is. He's just, I told somebody, we went to a passing league, and I told the referee, watch out. And if he comes over and pats him on the behind, that his wallet might be gone because he's so sneaky. He just likes, that's what makes him a good defensive back. He sneaks around and makes those picks. But as a wide receiver, he runs his routes and catches the ball for us, and he makes things happen.
Well, as a second leading offense in the district, I think you're third in defense. I mean, you're right up at the top in every category. Tell us a little bit about that offensive line that seems to be doing such a good job for you.
Well, we started out August the 1st putting them together. This is the first year they've been playing together. I've got 2 seniors and 2 sophomores and a junior. And they've just worked real hard. Bubba Hooker's been coaching them every day. And they've just been working real hard. They've done some great things for us, and we're looking for some more great things out of them.
Last question. What do you think this weather's going to do for your football game tonight?
It's going to make it fun. This is football. You take on whatever you got.
There it is, guys. Bethel-Hampton's been going on for a long time. We're back again. Thanks again. Back up to you, Mike.
Thanks, Brent. Good job down there. Head on back up here real fast and come alongside me, and we'll take care of doing this game tonight live. Looks like the Hampton Crabber Marching Band is on the field, and they will be playing our national anthem. And we'll be sending it down to them as the color guard has arrived on the field. Here they are. the Hampton Crabber Marching Band. Well, Brett, are you huffing and puffing getting up here, guy?
Well, just a little bit. 54 steps when you got to make that run up here in a raincoat and put down your umbrella and everything, you know.
Good job on the interviews down there. The coaches responded really well. Tonight's game is going to be a slippery sliding contest. The field itself it was in pretty good shape, but I'm not real sure it's going to be once this game's over with.
Well, I'm getting a variation in depth out there with the depth finder. We got a guy running around with a rope throwing it down from 2 inches to 1/2 an inch. But I'm going to tell you what, it's going to make a difference. Like Coach Smith said, the offense should have.
I can't believe that they're actually playing over at Todd Stadium because the entire middle of that field is mud. There is no grass. At least tonight we have. There's our referee going on the field. That's Larry Turlington as he gets ready to. It's getting ready to pull the captains on the field and do a coin toss. Let's send it down on the field where Ross Kearney is down there with a little interesting story.
Hey guys, let me tell you something. You were just talking about a 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches. It's closer to 2.5 inches. I would say by the second quarter, you're going to see it torn up. It'll probably turn to be mud in the middle of the field. So if it continues to rain, it's going to get a lot worse. We're lucky, though, we're not at Todd Field.
Well, I tell you what, yesterday during the game between Phoebus and Kickoff, we had 2.5 inches of rain prior to that game, in the last day and a half, and it's been raining all night and all day today. So, the field looks like it's in good shape considering they played a hard game last night on it.
Well, Coach Mike said the rain just came so fast that it just wasn't able to drain. I mean, it's a good draining field, he said, but he was surprised as wet as it was. But he said, like I was saying earlier, the offense should have an advantage because they know where they're going, especially the wide receivers. Here's your referees for tonight's game. Referee is Larry Turlington. Your umpire is Will Giggs. Sergio Jimenez is your lineman. Tony Krug is your line judge. Tony Brown is your side judge. And David Willis is your field judge. And they're going to stay busy all night picking up these wet players. It's going to take a time.
Yep.
Here we go out to the field now for the toss of the coin.
Mike Hauser along with Brett Musgrove and Bob Killen. And Mr. Killen decided he wanted to come up here tonight and have his Halloween costume on. Look at that. I figured I'd get to dig in first because I know it would be coming from him, right?
That'd be Big Head Bob doing the stats tonight.
Down on the field, as you see, Larry Turlington and his crew with the captains from both teams getting ready to do the coin toss. So we'll take a listen in with them and see how they goes about winning the toss.
See if we can pick him up, yeah. Did a great job of Cruz doing that, by the way.
All right, Green won the toss. They defer. White's going to receive down here. Okay, guys.
Hampton would be on offensive first. Bethel deferred. They will take it in the second half. Offense for Hampton right now.
And here is the starting lineup for the Crabbers of Hampton High School.
Well, we'll try to get that. Here we go. Michael Tate on offense number 75. He's a tackle. Tyrell Wilson also at tackle. William Jefferson at guard. Tyron Hainsworth at guard. Rory Nixon at center. Sean Fields at flanker. Matthew Schaefer at flex. Dubinair Foster at split end. Doug Graves at fullback. Tron Martinez at tailback. And Matthew Mitchell at quarterback.
And this is Devon Maddox getting ready to kick off for the Bethel Bruins. Kick off to the near side of the field.
And at the 16.
Out to the 25. Near the 28 where he's brought down hard by the Bethel Bruins. And that runner was, I believe, it was number 7. That was Sean Fields. So the Crabbers will take over the first possession of the game. 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Had to wait for them to mark it because you never know if they're going to mark it on 27 or 28.
And here we go with the number 2 running back in the district by fractions of a point to Chantel Evans.
Well, let's see. We got both the number 1 and the number 2 playing tonight against each other.
We're talking about fractions and difference per game. And getting ready for the on the first play here.
Matt Mitchell is the quarterback behind the center. Ball hands off to Tron Martinez up the middle. Is going to pick up maybe 2 yards out to the 29-yard line.
Not sure if that was Tron or not. Here's the defense for Bethel. On defense, Brandon Ferguson at tackle. Demetrius Pearson tackle. Ephraim Studwell at defensive end. James Gale at defensive end. Trenton Blow at inside linebacker. Tyler Blow at inside linebacker. Marcus Cross at outside linebacker. Corey Boyd at outside linebacker. Marcus Cooperwood at cornerback. Rejo Walker at cornerback. And Antoine Jarvis at safety. Very strong. I think they're 3rd in the district in defense.
And that was Martinez on the carry. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near. Set up in the split. There's a gentleman that just went offside for the Bruins. That should give the Crabbers an additional 5 yards on the play.
Like a 3rd and about 3.
Five-yard penalty is marked off by the referees. That'll give Hampton a 2nd down again. This time it'll be 2nd down in about 4. Make it a little bit longer than 3. Again, Mitchell coming in with the play. Sean Fields, one of the wide receivers, standing there.
What do you think, Mike? You think we'll see the ball in the air a lot tonight?
If Matt can keep the ball low and not overthrow his receivers, this could be a big game for him. That's Martinez up the middle again. Nice
like he's
hole.
Got the first down. Picked up about
all the way out to the
6
40.
yards almost. It's going to be a first down. He struggled a little bit the last 2 weeks. I don't think he's broken 100 yards the last 2 games he's played. But he's still within fractions of a point of leading the district in the rushing.
Well, he's, as far as total yards concerned, I believe he's actually within 10 yards of actually being the leader in the district.
I tell you, for this weather, you look around, it's not a bad crowd at all. Bethel's got a great turnout. And starting to build.
There's a special halftime ceremony that's going to take place tonight for the Bethel Bruins. They're going to recognize one of the
first series in the game, and already we got a sideline warning against Bethel. That just tells you how excited these kids are. They're right up on their toes, ready to play this game. Both teams wanted to get it on.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 40-yard line.
I like these kids have been playing Pee Wee football right on up through high school football together, and just happen to be in different zones, but they all know each other.
Billy Evans is the fullback. The ball's handed off to Tron again up the middle, and he is bent backwards by the Bethel Bruins defense after a gain of about 2 on the play.
Well, that was a solid hit. Did you see he put his head down and just went straight in?
Marcus Krause, number 44, was on the lead block that time.
He just put his head down and just went straight into the defender. That was a hard run.
Picks up about 3 on the play. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Crabbers.
You're going to see both of these running backs tonight run hard. They're going to hit the hole and they're going to explode if they can. Or they're going to make somebody pay for tackling them if they can, too. There's Coach Nelson on the sideline, first-year head coach for Bethel.
Mitchell again under center. Hands the ball to the lead up back. That's Billy Evans as he picks up maybe a yard to about the 44-yard line. And he is stopped right there in the middle of the line.
That was Doug Graves, I think, 42.
Was it Doug Graves?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here you go. Yeah, that was Doug Graves. Okay.
Third down and a long 5 for the Crabbers. They need to get the ball to midfield. Back in the shotgun is Mitchell. Pass it down. Back to throw. Ball was tipped, actually touched by, looked like 2 players by the Crabbers.
They threw the ball a little bit high.
A little bit overthrown to Paul Shaw. Here's some of your Quarterback comparisons on the game today. Matthew Mitchell for the Crabbers, as you can see, 5 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. And Aries McGlone English, again, 11 touchdowns and 800 and some yards. He's having a good year.
Brown is second in the district, and I think Mitchell's 6th or 7th in the district in passing.
Well, Mitchell now, after overthrowing his intended receiver, it'll be 4th down and 6. Set back now to punt the ball for the Crabbers.
Punting at the 40. Okay.
And it's a short kick. And gets a Bethel bounce and stops right there at about the 31-yard line, 32-yard line as number 43 for the Bruins.
Here's a comparison of those backs. You're talking about the number 1 and number 2 running backs in the district. And both of them are juniors.
Yeah, look at the yards on both of them there. Tron Martinez, 11:29 to 11:33. There's a 3-yard difference in total yards, and that is the number 1 and the number 2 running backs in the district.
But
and now
there's 43 more carries by Martinez than John Tell Evans.
So we're going to get to see Evans tonight as McGlone English is the quarterback for the Bruins.
It's an interesting comment that Coach Nelson said. Baycoat and McGlone English have both been quarterbacks for Bethel, and like he said, one's pushing the other all the time.
But the Bruins are set up with 4 wideouts, and they're going to pass the ball on a first down. He's complete for a short gain.
About a 3-yard pickup.
Marcus Cooperwood on the catch for the Bruins, a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Here's the Bethel offense. McQuell Gregory at tackle. DeAndre Moore at tackle. Roderick Mason at guard. Cameron Sharon at guard. Jordan Bowen at center. Antoine Jarvis at wide receiver. Franklin James at wide receiver. Marcus Cooperwood at wide receiver. Trenton Blow at fullback. John Tell Evans at running back. Aris McGlone English at quarterback.
And the ball off to the up back, and he is swallowed up by the Crabbers right there. And
like we said earlier, this is the number 2 offense in the district, and Hampton is the number 3 offense. Here's that play again.
Ball was handed off to Marcus Krause on the play.
Well, it's
loss of about a yard. 3rd down and almost 8 now for the Bruins.
Well, with this field, it's going to be surprising if anybody's going to get much running going. It's going to take somebody to get a break. Back to pass.
Way underthrown, and looks like the intended receiver for the Bruins.
Here's the Crabber defense. Anthony Ward at tackle. William Jefferson at tackle. James Lynch at defensive end. Tyler at defensive end. Billy Evans at inside linebacker. Ori Wynn at inside linebacker. Hyundai Allison at outside linebacker. Tron Martinez at outside linebacker. Sean Fields at cornerback. Dubinair Foster at cornerback. Paul Shaw at safety.
66 into punt. That's Zach Brickner for the Bruins. Sean Fields back here calls for a fair catch and takes it at his own 38-yard line. Where the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 for their 2nd possession of the night.
Well, we've had each team's had a possession, Mike, and a little tentative on both of them. Little tentative.
A couple of comparisons here on the receiving. Cooperwood for the Bruins, 13 catches on the year, 392 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Billy Evans, the lead receiver for the Crabbers, 13 receptions, also 225 yards and 3 scores. Big difference between the two as far as the
20 yards difference in the average, yeah.
The Crabbers take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
But for the most part, Mitchell shows that little short West Coast offense if he can. I mean, he shows likes to throw the short pass. Got some great receivers out there.
And the ball off the middle. Martinez. 6-yard gain out to the 45.
He almost broke that. He was one layer away from breaking that.
You notice how the Bruins are setting up on defense. They got the entire squad up on the line.
Here are your defensive comparisons for these. One more. Now here we go.
There's a defensive comparison between the two teams. Obviously, the Bethel Bruins are a good team this year as they only allow 169 yards, but
you look at Hampton,
number 1 in the district, obviously with 130 yards a game. And the ball from Mitchell up the middle is going to pick up about a yard on the play.
And in 8 games, Hampton's they're giving up less than 5 points a game. So and Bethel's right around 12. And here's your offensive comparisons here, Mike.
Big difference between average points a game, too, is the Bruins offense has been pretty potent this year, averaging 38 points a game to the Crabbers 28. And
a lot of those points for Bethel, though, have been on defense. They're getting like 2 touchdowns a game on defense alone.
Even though the Crabber offense on total yards is just a little bit more than what the total yards is for the Bethel Bruins. Here we go, 3rd down and 3 now. 3 wideouts set out to the far side of the field. In the shotgun is Mitchell. Being blitzed, he gets a shot over the middle, and again, the intended receiver was number 15, Paul Shaw, and the pass was overthrown again.
Yep.
So that's going to bring up 4th down and 3 for the Crabbers, and it looks like they're going to have to punt again.
And I don't know if it's because it's a slick ball, but he's had a tendency every now and then just to be a little high with his passes. But the receivers are there.
We've been talking about this all year long, and
Mitchell. Yep, that's what's happened. That's what he's been doing.
But by
Mitchell
off the side, gets a nice Hampton bounce down to the inside the 25. Down at the 23-yard line by Sean Fields. So the Bethel Bruins will take over from their own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. This is their second
possession of the
game.
And here we are, Hampton 3 and out. Bethel 1 3 and out. So let's just see how this goes. You see Mike Smith over there talking to his quarterback. Made a point. He's walking away. A lot of experience in that.
Matt Mitchell, in order for him to be successful, is going to have to bring the ball down to his receivers. Here we go, 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
Hands off to John Tell Evans. Nowhere. Hampton
he might get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Hampton has set their mind on something. They've got a key so far because, he's hit the line, and they've been waiting for him so far. Of course.
No gain on the play.
Right there, 66. He's standing right there in his face. That's Tyrell Wilson. Just stood him right up.
Tyrell 66?
Yeah, Tyrell Wilson.
2nd down and a short 10 as the ball is resting just ahead of the original line of scrimmage. McGlone English hands the ball off again to Evans up the middle and fights his way maybe for about 2 yards or maybe 3 yards on the play out to the 27-yard line.
Going to bring up about a 3rd down and 6. Something like that, yeah. Look at say 66 coming right after he's making every play. They're giving him that corner, and he's just coming. By the way,
everybody, we welcome everybody to tonight's game here at Darland Stadium between the Bethel Bruins and the Hampton Crabbers, live on WHCS Channel 46. Mike Hauser along with Brett Musgrove and Bob Killen will bring it here for you tonight. There's a pass, is tipped, almost caught. It looks like that's number 1 for the Bruins. Antone Jarvis almost got it at the end there.
Yeah, about 3 people hit it before he did, but
it went through. Nice defense, too, on the Crabbers on that particular play. The first man got a piece of it. That was number 30, Pierre Wynn, who actually got a piece of the ball and knocked it away.
And there's Shaw coming across. We're going to talk about him a little later today.
So Sean Fields now sets back at about his 47-yard line, awaiting the punt from the Bruins.
Well, this will be the 4th 3 and out.
Maddox is the punter.
Almost got there that time.
Fields takes it on the fly and gets hit right there, and down he goes. They're going to mark it at the Crabber 49-yard line where Hampton will take over 1st and 10. You noticed on the field possession, it's starting
to go towards Hampton's way.
No, it's
towards Hampton's way, yeah. Hampton's moving down the field on each possession a little bit more. I wonder if a blocker forgot to pick up a block. Watch this ball come down, Mike. It looked like a blocker standing there instead of picking this.
Yeah, if he had it stretched out.
No, watch. See right there, 2 blockers, and he just kind of let him go, and boom. So that'll change your direction right quick, won't it?
If he had got that particular block, he had a pretty good hole up the middle to go.
They had 2 blockers there to
1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the 49. Matt Mitchell again, 2 wideouts to the far side.
It's a nice
Paul Shaw.
Nice fans out here in this rough weather.
Now moves into the tight end position. They're in the offset I position. And there's a handoff up the middle. He gets away from 1 tackle and picks up about 8 yards on the play. and we're trying to see who that is.
I think that was Martinez.
No, Martinez is number 2. He was in the backfield.
Okay.
That is number 42 for the Crabbers, who is Doug Graves.
Doug, okay.
He broke a tackle, broke through the line of scrimmage, and picked up about, it moved it back a yard. They picked up 7 as the ball's sitting now at the Bruin 44-yard line.
Just to tell you, that fullback weighs 225. When he hits that line, if you don't get him good, he's going to drag you a little bit. He likes pumping iron in the weight room, so.
Here's Martinez off the right side, good for a first down. He's going to pick up about
6 yards?
6 yards on the play.
Yeah, looks like. Going to be an interesting game. As you see, we talked a minute ago about Tyrell Wilson. He goes both ways for Hampton.
Walker on the stop for the Bruins.
Martinez, a little hand tackle right there at first, couldn't get him down.
But the Crabbers move the ball on the ground. They send
down inside the 40 now in Bethel territory.
Paul Shaw, number 15, to the near side as a wide receiver.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Mike. It's going fast.
Mitchell takes the snap, hands the ball off to Martinez, and he runs right up through the middle of the hole. And he's going to be close to about 4 yards on the play. He looks like he's going to be down at about the Bruin 34. 4-yard pickup.
Here it comes again. Everybody waiting. Look like a tea party. Everybody there to get their drink. Boom.
Make a choice of who made the tackle because it was.
Did you see that water splashing on
the field?
field?
You're going to see that all night long, especially in this area of the field.
Yep.
In between the 20s and the hash marks, it's a little bit on the wet side.
There we go, 2nd and 6.
There's a pitch to a new back here, and
22,
I believe that is a 22, Landon Key?
I think it was.
Or Quentin Walker. I believe the Crabbers have fumbled the ball. They did. And the Bethel Bruins have recovered at their own 25-yard line.
Well, stop another drive. Here's a flag on this play, too, yeah. Pitch out. That's 20.
20. It is 20. That is right Quentin Walker.
Yeah.
So Walker fumbles the ball, and the Bruins recover at their own 25-yard line. So we have our first turnover of the game after a nice sustained drive for the Crabbers as they got the ball down to the Bruin 25-yard line and turn it over. So McGlone English back in there for the Bruins. Hands the ball off to, as I believe that is Evans.
John Evans.
And
again.
He is going to lose a yard on the play. But they're going to actually mark it back up at the 25 again. So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 as Crabbers have him bottled up right now so far in this game.
Well, McClone English is coming. Last play came back under center instead of the shotgun. Maybe there he is backing up again.
2nd 10 is
there we go. He's
back under center. Hands the ball off again to Evans. He's going to get to about the 26-yard line, and that's it.
I have to tell you right now, and it may change, Hampton's off defensive line weighs about, 215, 220?
And they're manhandling the Bruins right now. They're holding their own.
They're holding their own, and Bethel's not able to move them out right now. They're standing them up.
Gain of a yard. 3rd down and 9 now for the Bruins.
They are standing them up. Did you see them fighting for that ball on that replay?
I'll bring up a passing
3rd down
situation.
And 9. Yep. Game's going fast. We're down to 57 seconds in the first quarter.
Trenton Blow is also the running back standing to the side of McGlone English along with Evans. Back to pass. Over the middle. And right through the hands of the Bruin receiver. And that is number 7 for the Bruins, Franklin James, as he was actually double covered on the play as the Crabbers did a good job there. He would probably have been short on the first down pass anyhow.
Yep.
And it goes right through his hands. So the Bruins are setting up again to punt the ball with Maddox in punt formation. Back at his midfield is Sean Fields. Ball was rolled right to the punter. He does get it off. Nice punt considered. Calls for a fair catch at the 46, and that's where Hampton will take over. 1st and 10. Here we are in the first quarter of play. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. No score here. Both teams tied for the 2nd place now in the district at 7-1 each. Here is the replay of the punt, and he had to go down and get that ball, and he was lucky.
Yes.
And he got a decent punt off, too, considering.
He hung in there, man. Just played the ball the best he could. While we got a chance here to get ready for this last play of the first quarter, let's talk about our production crew. Of course, on cameras out there in this weather is Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, and Steve Fryer. Them guys are getting soaking wet. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. Camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Production assistant, Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Sherrouse. Director, producer, Scotty Bauer keeps us all in line. Of course, I've got the privilege of sitting up here tonight with Mike Hauser and Ross Carney. He's down on the sidelines, and Bob Killen doing the stats. Last play of the first quarter. Well, maybe not. He just started again.
That was handed off from Mitchell to Tron Martinez. He's going to pick up about 3 on the play near the 49-yard line where the Crabbers will have second down and 7.
So far, Hampton has been able to move the ball except for that turnover down there on that last series. I mean, they got stopped twice, but then they started moving the ball.
Yeah, the Crabbers are going to let the clock run out.
Yeah.
That's going to take care of quarter number 1 here at Darlin Stadium. No score here between the Crabbers and the Bruins.
Well, there we go. We're going to have a chance to maybe talk about one of our featured players of the week here. We pick a couple of players. Some play some play very little, work real hard all week. So we'll get a chance. We'll talk about our selected players of the game supplied by our coaches.
Also tonight, let's go ahead and do Bethel's first, all right?
On Bethel, we have DeAndre Moore. Got a good chance to talk to him today, 17 years old. He's got a brother named Barry who played for Bethel 2 years ago, who he's real proud of. He's now in the Navy. His father's Barry works for Newport News Shipyard. His mom works for Nextel. DeAndre likes to play basketball, though he doesn't play organized at Bethel. Said his favorite interest kind of tickled me. He says he likes to sleep because he spends so much time on the football field, doesn't get home before 8. His favorite sports hero is Michael Jordan. He loves Virginia Tech, and he loves the Redskins. He hopes to go to school after high school and play football somewhere. He's played JV 2 years and played varsity 2 years. I asked him about this year's team as compared to the last couple of years, and he said discipline. He said the coaches instilled discipline, and all the kids love playing together. We work real hard every day and love doing it. And so, DeAndre, we just want to thank you for spending the time with me on the phone, and good luck with the rest of your career.
All right, as we get ready to start the second quarter of play, the Crabbers have a second down and 7. Back to pass is Mitchell. Throws the ball over the middle, and he threw the ball into traffic. Paul Shaw was the intended receiver on the play, double covered by the Bethel Bruins. Here's a replay of that last pass.
A good pass. I got to tell you, Hampton's line is giving him time. He
threw that one right into
traffic. He still threw it right into traffic.
Our second quarter sponsors for tonight's game is Zoom's Citgo Gas, Krispy Kreme donuts, and hot prepared food. Zoom's is proud to present the Eagle Award, which recognizes athletes who exceed in academics. Zoom's all over the peninsula, along with Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point. Timeout now by the Crabbers, by the way. Your one-stop sports headquarters and screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to either David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Give us a little bit of insight on those two young men.
They're some great people. You're talking about having fun. You go over to a shop. They're always cutting up cards, and we have a good time when you go over to talk to them. But they're serious about their game. They support so many different groups. They also support our player of the game. They supply the T-shirts for us that to go to each player that we select here for players of the game, and I get the privilege of delivering them to the coaches. And Dave Chubb is and Terry are both real supporters of high school sports.
All right, let's send it down to our field reporter down there. Go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Ross?
Coach Nelson was just talking to his offense on the side there. They're having problems with the, and you may have alluded to it already, with the defensive line pushing up the middle. So they want to go ahead and start running some traps and see if they can catch Hampton off guard and bust a long one.
Well, Ross, that's some good insight. I'm glad they're talking to you down there on that sideline. It gives us a little heads up. Because, like you said, Hampton's been standing their front 4 up.
All right, third down and 7 now for the Crabbers. 3 wideouts to the near side. Their backfield is split. And it looks like we have a timeout again by the Crabbers as Coach Mike Smith just did not like the way they were setting up. So 2 timeouts in a row now by the Crabbers.
Yeah, I think he had a phone call on that last analysis by Ross. Okay, guys, this is what we do. No, I'm just kidding, Ross. Good job. While we got this time here, let's talk about this rivalry just a little bit, Mike. This goes back. We're going to honor a coach tonight. We coached for 25 years at Bethel, Coach Kozlowski. And as you and I have both talked about, I remember him on that sideline in 13-degree weather wearing those shorts and that long-sleeve shirt and tie.
Yeah, back in the days of Allen Iverson and that crew. And the Bethel Bruins have won a couple of state titles in their career.
3 state championships.
I mean, as a whole, the Peninsula District, how many state champions have we had in this direction?
Since not in the last 36, the Hampton, except for one time at Heritage, has won it 18 or 19 times.
That's right.
Hampton's 12, Phoebus 3, Bethel 3, and Heritage 1 in the last 36 years. That's quite a speak up right there of just the Hampton schools in Division 5.
Absolutely. Trying to figure out exactly what's going on here with Larry Turlington down there talking to the Bethel coaching staff. They're probably asking to have the band quiet down just a bit because they can't hear them on the field. That's one of the things that the Hampton coaching staff has done in the past on numerous occasions. Is to make sure that his players can hear on the field, and it just ask the band to be quiet a little bit during the actual play, and then go at it in between them.
If it's loud down there to them, you ought to be set up here in these stands.
Yeah, boy, right next to them all. Blitz on the play, and just a little bit underthrown. Yep. That ball was intended for number 30, Pierre Wynn, over the middle, incomplete. As Mitchell was getting ready to let go of the pass, he was nailed.
He got it off. It's a little wobbly. Watch Shaw 15 on this replay. He's wide open, standing over there on the side. Just, hello, anybody home?
But the Crabbers are going to have to punt the ball here, 4th down. And
in Mitchell's defense, he was rushed a little bit right there. He didn't get a whole lot of time to look around that field on that one. But here's another exchange of the football.
Nice punt as number 43 for the Bruins.
It's Jontel Evans.
That's Cooperwood.
Cooperwood, that's right.
As he takes the ball 14. And gets and is brought down at his own 28-yard line. So the Bethel Bruins will take over again, 1st and 10. 11:42 to go here in the second quarter. Still no score here at Darling Stadium. Live, WHCS Channel 46, bringing this game to you. Inclement weather, lots of rain, lots of water on the field, and that field's going to turn to mud. Yes, you can already see it.
Yep. Bethel's getting set up here. They got receivers out everywhere.
4 wide outs, 2 to the near side, 2 to the wide side. Standing there next to McGlone English is Jontel Evans. So far, he's been held in check by the Crabber defense.
I think he's got a total of 6 yards on rushing so far in the first quarter. About 134 underneath his average.
Well, he's got a long way to go before this game's over with. Blown English on a screen pass to Evans is a little bit off target, incomplete.
See that pressure in there from Hampton? He had to alter the pass just to get it over their heads.
Yeah, they were trying to set up for a screen, but the Hampton Crabbers came in through the line so fast.
Watch the hands up.
The offensive line never had a chance to get over and set up for the blocking scheme.
Changed the whole scheme of the play. It's like you said.
Time out, bro.
It's second down and 10.
Second down and 10. It looks like Bethel is now will be calling timeout.
Wants to talk a little bit and see what's going on.
That was their first time out of the game.
I got this chance. I know we don't do this very often, but I have a gentleman that comes to the game with my wife, Norm Small. He's almost 80 years old. Just want to give a shout-out to you, Norm. I hope your health's a whole lot better. I know you'd like to be here at the game.
Is he watching it live?
He's watching it live.
All right.
And he just wanted me to tell everybody he's so appreciative because he's home on oxygen and he's had some problems the last few weeks, so this really is good for him. He loves it. So, Norm, hope you get better, buddy. See you in a couple of weeks in the playoffs.
Yeah, I miss not sitting next to you at Denny's after the game, eating dinner.
Drinking his cup of coffee. That's right. We used to call him the legend of Lee Street. He knows everything going up down that street.
Second down and 10 for the Bruins as play will resume here shortly after the timeout. Coaching staff, there's a good view of Jontel Evans.
And speaking of people, remember Bunny Brown? Well, Bunny Brand sits down here in this game for 30 years watching these Hampton High plays. I talked to him today on the phone, and he also wanted me to express how much he appreciated getting to see these games live. I talked to Bart Young the other day, and Bart told me he wasn't feeling good, so I gave him a call today and just let him know that we're thinking about him and how he's enjoying the game, as he wanted everybody to know.
Second down and 10 as we get ready to start now. Lone English is the quarterback. Hands the ball off to Evans up the middle. He breaks through the line of scrimmage. He's still going all the way inside of the Crabber territory down near the 46-yard line.
Well, Ross, there's that trap you were talking about. He just picked up his first 30 yards right there.
25 yards on the carry from the line of scrimmage as they mark the ball right on the Crabber 45-yard line.
Here, watch this play. Biggest play from scrimmage. Boom. Look at the blocking. They're picking everybody up.
Yep, now they're going to move it back 2 yards. Set it down at the 47, where I thought they had it marked originally. First and 10 at the Crabber 47. McLone English takes a short snap. Passes the ball out here to the flat to number 43 of the Bruins. That's Marcus Cooperwood.
Pick up about 5.
5-yard gain to the Crabber 42-yard line. Second down and 5 now for the Bruins.
Lone English has improved in his passing. I mean, like Coach said, he's really worked real hard on it, and with the pressure that Bay Coach's putting on him, they're both working harder to be better at the game. He's delivering the ball well. Watched him last week when they were here on Saturday. And
second down and 5. In the shotgun again is McLone English. There's the snap, handoff to Evans up the middle. He's going to pick up maybe 2 close to the 40-yard line, and that's it.
We'll bring up third in about 4.
And we got a flag on the play. I never saw it come down.
I didn't either.
Preliminary signal is holding on the Bruins. Now that's going to cost them about 10 yards from the spot, and the spot was about a yard ahead of the line of scrimmage, so that'll end up turning into a 9-yard loss.
Yeah, well, let's just see what.
The flag was thrown right in the middle of the pack where the actual tackle was made, so it would have been hard for us to see that.
That's he's calling right there in the middle where they were bent over. Looked like he had one Hampton player from behind by the shoulders.
10-yard penalty from the spot, takes the ball back to the 51 or to the 49. There
second
is no 51.
And 14. A whole new game.
A whole new game. Oh, that's right. We're playing in Canada. That's right. Here we go. Second down and 14 now as the rain begins to start coming down again here at Darling Stadium. 4 wide outs. Got 2 split to the near, 2 split to the far, and
they got him.
Crabbers jumped offside. So they're going to pick up 5 of those 10 right back.
Don't make it 9.
That'll make it second down and 9 now instead of 14. I'm assuming that Larry Turlington does not have a field mic on.
I haven't been able to hear him since.
Thank you. He does not, so we will pass along the.
Look, they're giving almost 8-9 yards here to the wide receivers over here.
Second down and 9, handoff to Evans on a sweep to the near side here. To the 40, inside the 40, as he is absolutely piles it on the Crabbers number 10 right there as he tries. That's Debonair Foster. He just hit him head on.
He picked up almost 9. It's going to be close to first down.
Oh, they got the first down.
Yep, they got the first down.
He's marking the first down before they even check it out.
Watch him to deliver this blow here. Yes.
Yeah, that was Jontel Evans that carried it.
Last 2 carries has been about 40, almost 40 yards total, hasn't it? Something like that. He had one of 25, and that one was about.
So 1st and 10 for the Bruins at the Crabbers 37-yard line. Again, no huddle. Looks like they're picking up the play from the coaches as
Nelson
they're walking to the line.
Coach Nelson has a system of waving it in.
I'm surprised they didn't get a motion penalty on that because the left guard pulled early. Evans on the carry. Brought down by the Crabbers number 74.
Step of about 3.
James Lynch. 3-yard pickup to about the 20 to the 34-yard line. Second down and 7 now for the Bruins. Did you see the replay?
Yeah.
Did you see the right guard pull early?
A little jump.
Second down and 7 for the Bruins. 3 wide outs, 2 to the far side. Lone English in the shotgun. Hands the ball off to Evans straight up the middle, and he just works his way straight through the line all the way near the Crabber 28-yard line. He might be about a yard shy of the first down. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Bruins.
Well, now Hampton moved the ball for a while and turned it over. Now Bethel's has started moving the ball, and it's all mostly on the ground. I think Bethel completed 1 pass for 5 yards.
What's opened it up for the Bruins is the little passing game that Bethel has.
But they're just taking this right to him right here, right up the middle, little traps, just like Ross was talking about. 3rd and 1. And we've got about 8:55 to go in the second quarter. Still no score here at Darling Stadium.
Evans again on the carry. He may pick up a first down, but
the way he's coming in, it's going to be close. But
it looks like the near side referee gave him a very favorable spot.
Sure did.
The far side referee is a good yard behind him.
Yep. So somebody, watch
Look at the difference in them.
Yeah, watch one of them slide up and adjust.
Either way, it's a first down.
Yep. Now he's right there on the line. Boom! He gets hit right there. Boy, that's a real favorable spot, isn't it?
Boy, I'll say.
Real favorable spot.
He never got that close to the 25-yard line. Ball sits right on the 26. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
Don English puts him in position. Gets him like he wants. Does a little reverse.
And the Crabbers had that one covered, but he slips a tackle.
Yep, slips a couple.
And I believe he fumbled.
And still no whistle. Still no whistle.
He fumbled the ball.
And a Bethel Bruin number 7 picked it up.
Number 7 recovered it. Franklin James.
Franklin James picked it up and got more yardage.
Is that a flag on the play down there? I can't see. Or is it just somebody's towel?
Or a flag or a marker. I can't tell with a just a towel.
Okay.
Here's a replay. See if we can see the fumble. Handed off to Cooperwood. They should have had him there 3 times.
There goes the fumble.
Yep.
Sliding out there, and there's number 7.
That's James. Franklin James picks it up. Picks up another 6-7 yards.
Forced out of bounds by Debonair Foster. It looks like he's a little bit short.
All right,
what you got down there for us, Ross?
Guys, let me tell you what's happened. In the previous series, Hampton was shifting right before Bethel would hike the ball. Now what Bethel is doing is they're waiting for Hampton to shift, and then they're reshifting themselves, and that has allowed them to march the ball down the field tonight.
Thanks for that insight, Ron.
Bruins coaching staff has adjusted to what the Crabbers were doing in the first quarter, and so far it's working for the Bruins. 1st and 10. Ball sits at the 16-yard line of the Crabbers. That's the deepest penetration for the Bruins, as there is a flag.
Yeah, delay. There you go. They got it the right way that time. Illegal procedure.
Our referee was calling the illegal procedure against the Crabbers, and obviously he changed his mind real fast. It's 5-yard penalty against the Bruins. It'll make it now
like
first down and 15.
Looked like a traffic policeman out there for a second. You go this way, I go that way. There you go. Well, let's see if that puts any kind of a stumbling block. They've been completing that little flat pass for about 5 to 7 yards. Let's just see how much of a cushion Hampton's defenders give them, the receivers.
1st and 15 now for the Bruins at the 21-yard line. After the 5-yard penalty, McGlone English is the quarterback again in the shotgun. That's pretty much where he's been, with the exception of maybe 2 plays so far in the game.
Offsides.
And number 74 for the Crabbers jumps offside again. And I believe that is James Lynch.
That's not a Mike Smith team. I mean, I'm telling you what, he's going to be talking about watch the ball. Don't be some discussion down there because was he drawn off? The way the man with the ball is facing. Bishop.
Well, it looks like they're going to call it against Bethel. They are.
Drawn offside, and the official threw everything down.
So another 5-yard penalty for the Bruins. That's going to make it first down and 20 as the ball now sits at the Crabber 26-yard line.
Evidently, 74 saw some movement in that line, and he took advantage of it. That's a good play.
Jeff Nelson over talking to the referees, wanting to find out exactly what the call was. Now that he's got it right, and he is talking to Cooperwood down there, so maybe he's the one that jumped. Here we go. First and 20 for the Bruins. McGlone English hands the ball off to Evans up the middle. Breaks a tackle or two. Picks up close to 5 yards, and down he goes. He's down near the 20-yard line.
Hey, one thing, they sure are letting the scrum play, aren't they, before they blow the whistle. 5 yards. That's what we've got there.
Main tackle on the play was number 66.
He's still going forward, though.
Tyrell Wilson on the play. Gained just over 5 on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 15.
Tyrell's been on a lot of defensive plays already tonight.
Dontel Williams standing beside McGlone English.
We got a spread offense out there. Got
4 wide outs. Again, McGlone
he's hit
English.
in the backfield.
And he is hit for about a 2-yard loss back to about the 21-yard line.
Dontel Evans just 2 yards off his offensive yardage tonight.
Actually, it's a loss of 3 all the way back to the 22-yard line.
A third down about 16. So John Tell Evans has 13 carries for 52 yards, and 2 of those, one of them were for 25 and one of them was for 9. So it's been a battle for him, 1 or 2 at a time. Martini is the Hampton quarterback, is 9 carries for 38 yards. So
third down and about 16 now for the Crabbers.
Back for the pass.
Over the middle, wide open, and it is complete.
Number 43.
That's Cooperwood.
I talked to Coach about him tonight, offense and defense. He's been making things happen for Bethel.
And he is all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Let's see where does he have a first down?
Flag back here in the backfield.
Now let's see what the flag is. There is a late flag sitting back here at the 30-yard line.
Going to be roughing the passer. Okay. That's going to make it half the distance also, I think. .647 left to go, as you see there on the scoreboard. And still a bunch of goose eggs there, Bubba. Nobody put it in yet.
Well, at this rate, it's not going to be there for long because the Bethel Bruins are driving.
Yep.
Let's see what the call is. Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Crabbers.
I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I was, like everybody else, I was following. Yeah, I was following the ball. Yeah.
We were following the ball to the receiver. So it's first and goal now for the Bruins as the ball is sitting at the 4-yard line.
There it is. I can see it now.
McGlone English now under center as they are in the I formation. 1 wide out to the near side. Hand off to Evans up the middle. Spins in through, and I believe he's a little bit short of the touchdown.
Going to be second down and about a foot.
Nice play by Evans as he almost got in on that one.
Yep. Nice spin in the air. Watch this spin at the end when he gets hit. Boom. Doing everything he can to get there.
Well, I guarantee you he's going to get it again. Let's see.
Might be quarterback.
Nope.
Quarterback
McGlone
sneak.
English on a quarterback sneak, and I believe he's in. He is in.
Touchdown. Yep.
So about the Bruins strike first here in the second quarter as they now take a 6-0 lead over the Crabbers. McGlone English on a keeper up the middle. Touchdown Bethel. Here we go. Here's the replay.
Kept it and went right in off his right tackle.
Devin Maddox will be attempting the extra point attempt out of the hold of number 43, Marcus Cooperwood. And the Bruins will take timeout.
Must not have been set up.
So as we sit and wait for this timeout while they get set up to kick the extra point, as the Bethel Bruins drove down the ball pretty handily on that particular drive and worked their way right on in for a score.
Couple of passes completed.
That's what's opened the game up.
Oh, yeah, that's made the difference. He's hit a couple of passes, and Hampton hasn't. And that's made a difference. Like I say, you can't win this game very often with just one dimension working. That's what we were talking about. As we were saying earlier, we went to that trap play and that little second step of the handoff instead of just straight out dives has made a difference. It's caught Hampton off guard. Get ready for this extra point. Just let everybody know how wet it is out here.
Here's Maddox for the extra point attempt.
Nice.
Nice
Looks
kick.
good. Nice kick. Points through.
And it is good. So the Bethel Bruins are out in front of the Hampton Crabbers by a score of 7-0. 6:07 to go here in the second quarter. And we're bringing this game to you live.
Is that replay right here? But it's a nice
Stadium.
smooth kick. Nicely done. Yeah. Everybody was trying to block it. It just got right through. Beautiful kick.
I hope everybody out there watching the game tonight is comfortable in a nice warm house and chair, sitting back and relaxing and watching this game live.
We got a lot of loyal fans here in the stands, but for you people who really enjoy this game coming to you live, for whether it's your health or staying out of the weather or not able to get out for other reasons, get a chance to let the people at the Hampton School System know how much you enjoy these live ball games. Give them a call. You got a number over there, Mike?
Yeah, 727-2010. Also, don't forget to go out there and
just call anytime and leave a message, because we're trying to see if this is going to work, and we're enjoying doing it, bringing it to you live, and it's a lot of extra work for the staff here. So.
also get out there and help support our sponsors, too, that do such a great job allowing us to bring these games to you live. There's the Crabbers taking the ball at the 15-yard line and brings the ball up the middle, breaks through the middle, all the way out to about the 37-yard line. That was number 23, Calvin Roberts, for the Crabbers. So the Crabbers will take over first and 10 at the 36-yard line. And in order for the Crabbers to be able to get back into this game, they're going to have to be able to throw successfully.
Needs to hit one or two. He's got to keep them honest.
If they're going to continue to try to keep the ball on the ground, the Bethel Bruins are just going to stack the ball, the line.
Hampton's offensive line comes in about 230, 235, somewhere there. So.
Paul Shaw to the near side. Now there is a flag on the play. Wait and see what the call is, and it looks like it's against the Bruins, but I'm not real sure.
I have no idea what they're.
A couple of the Bruins were backing up. Let's see what Larry Turlington, our referee, is going to tell us. Personal foul against Bethel. A dead ball personal foul?
Wow. I'd love to know what that is. Ross, if you get a chance to find out what that might have been, we couldn't see anything from up here.
I mean, they weren't even in the play. They were just getting ready to start set up on a 1st and 10.
I wonder if it was. Can you get that? Okay.
So here we go, 1st and 10 after the 15-yard personal foul against the Bruins. Puts the ball at the Bruin 49-yard line. That certainly helps the Crabbers out a little bit here. Mitchell behind the center, pitches the ball back to Martinez as he's going to pick up maybe about 2 yards to about the 47-yard line, and that's it.
Hey, all he's doing is talking to their sideline.
Well, here's that pitch again. And they're just closing it down from the right side. You just watch, boom. And there's 5 people over there. The defensive receivers are breaking on the ball right away.
James Gale, number 49, on the lead stop for the Bruins. Gain of a little bit more than a yard. We'll call it 2nd down and a short 9.
Awful kind.
Yeah. Schaefer now to the near side, along with Sean Fields. There's again a handoff up the middle. He loses his feet at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for about a yard. That's it.
You're watching Bethel's line and getting pumped up now.
Martinez picks up about a yard, and that's it. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 7. And the Crabbers have been stuck in 3rd and long now since the first drive of the game.
Well, they turned it over. They went 3 and out, and then they had a long drive and fumbled the ball. And that could have been a big touchdown they had. That could have changed the whole complexion of the game for them, but they fumbled the ball away, and now Bethel's taking it in.
Let's see what the Crabbers can do on 3rd down. And Mitchell's back in the shotgun. 3 wideouts to the far side. There's a pass again, overthrown, and it was almost interception. He's overthrowing all of his receivers.
Yep.
Walker on the coverage right there.
24,
it goes
yeah.
right through his arms, and
He should have intercepted that.
that one could have been 6.
Watch this right here. He's got time. Delivers a ball. There's a receiver. I mean, maybe he was throwing it to the second receiver field.
There was 3 of them out there. All 3 of the Crabbers receivers that lined up on that side of the field
We're in the same
all
place.
within 5 yards of each other, and that's not going to work too well.
Yeah, they're kicking.
So the Crabbers on 4th down and
Looked like a jump.
7. Mitchell kicks the ball. Good yardage on it. Down to about the 15. It's fumbled right there.
Touched. He's down.
Cooper Wood on the stop, and he will be down at the 15-yard line.
Well, it's 4:27 to go in the first half.
Bethel takes over 1st and 10 right there at the 15.
Calling roughing the kicker?
Whoa, if it's roughing the kicker and if it's personal foul, that's a first down. Well, Mitchell is limping a little bit.
He hit him right there. Yes, sir. Oh, that's got to drive a coach crazy. That's got to drive a coach crazy. That's going to be 2 big penalties to move that ball where Hampton was unable to move it.
Ball all the way down to the Bethel 30. Wow.
It's going down to the
Bethel 31.
Yeah, it was a 15-yard penalty.
All righty, 15-yard penalty on the Bruins on roughing the kicker. So let's see how Mitchell's going to react now after he got roughed on the punt. Is doing a little bit of limping.
Let's see if Hampton can capitalize on a couple of penalties like Bethel did. Of course, Bethel passed the ball and was completing the passes, and so let's see if Hampton can take advantage.
Well, you know, Matt can do the job. He's just got to get the ball down to his receiver.
And it's wet a little bit, but like you say, he's had a habit a little bit.
And we got timeout called by the Bruins.
Coach Nelson going out talking to his players.
So that stops the clock here with 4:14 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 Bethel.
Each team has driven the ball a little bit.
But coaches on the Bethel side are a little bit upset.
If you can hear that mic down there, some people a little bit upset about, as we'd call it, silly plays.
Well, that's
getting the ball back.
That'll certainly stop or give another team momentum.
Absolutely. Especially when you start at their 49 with the penalty, and then you get another 15 after you stop them. Hold them to 3 yards, and then you stop them, and then you give them 15 yards. Get back, and where they're down at the 30, 31-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 31.
Yeah. Now, all Mitchell has to do is just complete 1 or 2 passes now, just to get them back on their heels a little bit, and they'll be able to tie this game up. Right? Yeah, but I'm saying you just got to make them honest. You know, just got to keep them honest. There's Coach Nelson on the side.
1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the 31-yard line.
Gentleman we're going to be honoring later tonight, Coach Kozlowski, 25 years. We'll get a chance to even interview him after the ceremony, so that's great. 25 years coaching the Bethel Bruins, 3 state champions.
Back to pass is Mitchell. There's a flag down. He finally completes a pass, but unfortunately there's going to be a holding call against the Crabbers.
Yep.
And that one's coming back, folks.
That's going to be back here on the 35, plus 10.
That was the best pass of the game.
There you go. I played for Coach Coz, state champion, 74, 76, and 92. That's great. A whole lot of.
Now, what were those years again?
74, 76, and 92.
I was going to say,
he stayed in there a long time.
He was a high school student for a long time if he had that many years in there. I can see 74 and 76 or whatever, you know. Shoot. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That ends up being 14 yards. So the Crabbers have backed up all the way to Bethel's 45-yard line. 1st and 24, and they're going to have to do what they just got through doing without having that holding call.
Yeah.
They need to do that in order to get these yards back, because that's a big penalty on the Crabbers.
Shooting themselves in the foot. Turnovers, penalties.
Blitz is coming. Off he goes, and there goes another flag on the Crabbers, I think, especially considering the fact that the flag was thrown by the side referee into the backfield of Hampton.
Mitchell picked up about 12, 13 yards on that run.
But I believe it's coming. That's probably his biggest run of the year,
It's the longest run of the year. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I believe it's coming back.
What happens here?
Procedure is to call against the red team. Yep, Travers. Nice little pull up and just tuck it under and take off. Oh, did you see that hit between those two Bethel players running into each other?
Here comes another 5. That's
So it's going to be 1st and 29 now.
Well, Hampton ought to, at the rate they're going backwards, they just ought to punt the ball now. Gosh, they've shot themselves. They got a couple of breaks, and now they've shot themselves in the foot. I can't say. I don't know about you. I haven't seen that. Let's see what happens now. 1st and 28. Let's see if they can. They don't have to get it all at once. Just chip it out. Here comes with a blitz.
Here comes the blitz again. Get rid of the ball. He throws the ball behind the receiver, and
15.
that was Paul Shaw.
Yeah. Behind him.
And Mitchell was hammered it back there again.
That's the first time I think they've actually got to a solid hit on him tonight. I mean, they've rushed him a little bit a couple of times, but that time they got a lick on him. But they've extended everybody at the line. It's very obvious to see what's happening.
Well, the Bruins don't think the Crabbers are going to be able to pass on him right now until Mitchell can hit one of his receivers open and get some yards out of it, and they're going to continue just to overload the offensive line.
You watch them; they're sending their linebackers right up to the line when Mitchell's back in that shotgun. When he's up on the center now,
they play a 3-4 defense, and right now they've got 8 guys in the front of the line, and there's Martinez, and he just gets absolutely plummeted right at the line. And you're not going to run up the middle against eight defenders that are rushing the line of scrimmage on that play. 3rd down and long.
2:46 to go in the half. Here's that play again. I mean, just running into a stone wall. Everybody in green's coming. I'm telling you. They're calling that last time out. You don't need it on the bus. So
they need to
see if they can make something happen.
Coach Smith has to figure out what he needs to do to stop this rush of the Bruins, because they're putting 8 people up on the line of scrimmage, and the Crabbers are not going to be able to stop that, because as you know, all realities, Bethel's defensive backs, they only have 3 of them back here, and the Crabbers sending 4 out, so somebody's got to be open somewhere.
Yeah, but right now they're sending so many people at the line, he's not hadn't have time to check off. And if you only have time to look at one and there's 3 defenders around him, you're dead. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't find a receiver. There's so much pressure.
Well, the other thing is something that might work on them is do that little screen pass offside, get in the shotgun and back up and let them come on in and get that short screen over the middle. Then you're going to have an open field to run with.
Well, they're sending so many people.
3 wide outs, 1 to the far side, and they got 2 to the near side. Sean Fields, that's Paul Shaw to the far side.
Just needs that one little hitch kick.
They put a couple of backs in the backfield to help block it. And here comes the blitz again, trying to time the blitz.
He doesn't look. There you go. He's throwing.
This time, Paul Shaw completes. And
he's digging.
He works his way all the way inside the 40 down near the 36-yard line, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to play like this in order to be able to get back in this game.
They got to get Bethel running around.
But they're going to be 4th down and about
14.
15. 4th and 15 now.
Yeah, something like that. Here's a replay. See how many people they're sending? I mean, they're getting there. He's having to step under the first cover. He got nailed.
And Matt did a good job finding the open receiver that time.
Matt Mitchell got nailed. He's coming right back in there, though. But he got sandwiched on that hit. No, we thought it was going to be a game, and it sure is.
Make it 4th and 16, a minute 50 to go.
Minute 50 to go. They're going for it at the 35, 36-yard line.
In the shotgun is Mitchell.
Comes everybody.
There's the snap. They held back a little bit. This time he throws the ball down the sideline. And it was intercepted by the Bruins. And who is that, 24 on the interception? The Bruins number 24, and that is Walker.
Yeah, that's Walker.
Yeah.
Rajah Walker. Yeah.
So the Bruins stopped the
It was
Crabbers.
fourth down.
Well, in all honesty, that's a good punt right
It's a
there.
great punt.
But he underthrew his receiver that
Yeah,
time.
Well, they went up for him. He made a nice catch on it.
He did that.
But I'm going to tell you, that's a great, got him down at the 5-yard line. And you couldn't have punted it any better.
Looks like they set the ball down at the 6, so the Bruins will take over 1st and 10, and they'll probably,
For some
at
tense
this
Hampton
point in
fans.
time, they'll just probably just let the clock run out as we're down to 1:30 to go here before the half. Bruins out in front 7-0. Live from WHCS Channel 46 here at Darling Stadium. Keeper by McGlone English as he works his way outside the 10-yard line near the 12. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
I'll tell you what, there's some wet fans sitting in those stands, and there's some worried ones on that Hampton side, too. I'm telling you, this game's been talked about for the last 2 weeks, even though it's just been played now. And that's everywhere I go, that's a conversation. What do you think is going to happen between Bethel and Hampton? Well, here's what I thought was going to happen. A tough game right here.
Right. Again, McGlone English is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for about a yard on the play. On the stop for the Crabbers was number 66, Tyrell Wilson. 3rd down and about 4 for the Bruins.
They're just packing it. You can see them sending the defenders. I think Bethel's just going to run the clock out. That's all they're trying to do, whether they get a first down or not. They'll run one more play. They're watching the clock now.
Either team has a timeout left, so they're going to let the clock run down. They'll probably take the penalty and then run one play and let the clock run out. Smart play. That way they'll go into the dressing room with a 7-0 lead. Bar a mix-up here. All 25 seconds there, guys. And
that's a game.
McGlone
6 down.
McGlone knees down on the field, and we have come to the halftime here at Darling Stadium. And at the half, the Bethel Bruins 7 and the Hampton Crabbers nothing.
It's been about 15, 16 years since Bethel's beat Hampton, and this game's not over.
Well, both teams moved the ball quite well a couple times, and they did a lot of 3-and-outs, but Hampton shot themselves in the foot when they got down inside of the Bruins' 20-yard line and fumbled the ball.
And they got back down here in the 30 and two penalties in a row. So,
turned the ball over again late here in the second quarter on a intercepted pass down on the 5-yard line. And at that point in time, the Bethel Bruins just basically let the clock run out to end the first half of play.
Well, it looks like we got a band getting ready to march out here on the field.
Well, I don't think they're going to go marching on the field because of the conditions, but I know tonight they're having a special halftime presentation here at Darling Stadium. And the recipient of that special presentation is the special presentation will be to Coach Dennis Kozlowski. So stay tuned for some more halftime entertainment here and second half action here at Darling Stadium.
We'll be right back. 7-0 Bethel Bruins. I think so.
Well, they just did the presentation to Dennis Kozlowski, who has recently been inducted into the Virginia, the VHSL Hall of Fame, Virginia High School. And right now we are going to listen to the Bethel Bruin Band as they will play a few songs here for us.
There you go. Zach, I'm going to call you right back.
That's nice down there for them. That's nice down there. All those guys showing back up for Kaz. And 25 years coaching, 3 state championships. Also a great track coach. 3 state track championships too, if I'm not mistaken.
74, 76, and 92 on the football side.
But you know, the thing about college, a lot of people don't understand is he helped a lot of kids, not just at Bethel, to get to college. I mean, I've been told that coaches would come to him and ask about players, and he would say, "You need to see this player over here, or see this player at Heritage, or see this player at Newport." So he wasn't just about winning football games, which that's what coaches are hired to do, but he was about the kids too. And that's something that everybody should know and remember. And I'm sure a lot of those people down there are very thankful for the discipline he instilled in them for later in life, and for the help he got a lot of them getting to college. Well, thanks, Coach Kaz. I enjoyed watching you for a lot of years, buddy.
Here in a couple of minutes, Ross Carney will have him on the sideline for an interview, and we'll get to listen to Dennis Kozlowski. I know that he has been working a little bit with Christopher Newport, and I'm not real sure now whether he's still there.
I thought he was helping the apprentice school out some. I'm not sure.
He may be there now, too. And there is Ross now as he's gathering them up, as we will have an interview with him here shortly.
If he could get this done before the band starts.
All right, Ross, go ahead down there.
Hey, guys, I'm down here with the best coach, one of the best coaches the Peninsula District of Hampton City Schools has ever had, Coach Kozlowski. Coach, what does this mean to you tonight?
Oh, it was great seeing all my old players. I mean, that's more important to me than the plaque they gave me and all of that. That so many of them showed up. Meant we were doing something right.
Thanks. And, Coach, can you tell me, what do you think about tonight's score? Bethel is really putting it to Hampton.
Well, I'm thrilled. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for Coach Smith. You know, he nominated me for the Hall of Fame. We had some great games, and maybe this will be a reestablishment of the rivalry between Bethel and Hampton the way it used to be, and it'll stay that way. What a lot of people don't realize is that Bethel High School was born out of Hampton High School in 1968, and we were the first truly integrated high school on the peninsula. And integration wasn't made mandatory until 1972, so the school board of the city of Hampton in 1968 had the perception to do it 4 years before the rest of the peninsula did it.
Well, that's great. Coach, I want to tell you on behalf of everyone, we're very proud of you and we love you, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Coach Kozlowski.
Great job, Ross. You got it out there. He's still the humble man he always was. I'll tell you, if you ever saw him work the sidelines with his players, though, he was a very firm coach, but he didn't go crazy. He just did a good job.
All right, let's listen up for a few minutes as the Bethel Bruin Band will give us a little bit of entertainment here at half. 7-0 Bethel over the Crabbers of Hampton. Yeah, for a small band, they sure can put out some sound, can't they?
Yeah, another 2 weeks are going to be people gathering around that baton on fire just to stay warm the way things are going. Well, we lost the technicians there. Headed to the back room.
Well, it looks like that's all they're going to do as the Bethel Bruin Band. Nice job as they're trying to get off the field now. And one of the things they got to do is keep messing the field up because it's wet out there. 7-0 here at the half. The Hampton Crabbers trail the Bethel Bruins. It's been about 15 years now since the Bethel Bruins have defeated the Crabbers. And
We're going to go back and show you a little bit of the first half.
Do that.
Some highlights and see what we've got here.
Here's the score for the Bruins. Well,
this is where they set up for the score right here. And then they got a penalty after that, if I'm not mistaken. And here's it. John Tett.
That was McGlone. McGlone English now will take the hand off and
take it off the right tackle.
And folks, that is all of the scoring in the first half.
And there it is. Teams moved the ball a little bit up and down the field. I don't know how many punts each team had, but in the first series, each team went 3 and out twice. And then Hampton started moving the ball, probably moved it about, 50, 60 yards, Mike, and then turned the ball over.
And then they turned the ball over
on a fumble.
On a fumble. Then late in the in the second quarter, they were driving. They got the ball down near the 30-yard line and then threw an interception down to the 5. So
there's athletic director Ray Smith down there.
Ray Smith down there. Is this shot night?
Yeah, shooting T-shirts into the stands. Now when I watched him here last Saturday do this, he was getting up here almost to the where we're sitting.
that one dropped.
I'm telling you, he was getting some distance on him, boys.
I bet you he can't get it up this high.
He almost hit this booth last Saturday. Of course, it's a little wet now, as they'd say about the air conditions for the passer. But
that's pretty good. They're down there throwing footballs up into the stands. Yeah. That's some of the good old stuff that we used to see back when we were playing.
I have to say, Ray Smith, every football game, he's here, he's on the sidelines, he's participating, he's seen by the Bethel students and parents. And he did this last week at the game. He's always throwing T-shirts. I feel like you're at a Pilots game or a Tides game. You know, he's just throwing stuff out there all the time. Good job, Ray. Of course, he helps us a lot when trying to get information together for the teams. And
especially with basketball, he sets us up really good in the gyms over at Bethel. Yep. That one came about 3/4 of the way up.
Anyway, he gets some distance, and he'll start shooting down here to both ends. But look at that. You see that? Yeah, well, he did. He bounced one off up here real close last Saturday. He put one almost right up here in the booth because I was standing up here and watched it come up. But Ray's always involved with his students, and that's good to see. You go over to Bethel High School now with this football being as successful as it is, and I don't know if you've heard about the basketball program or not, but they supposedly got some new.
Look out for the Bruins in basketball this year.
And Coach Breon heard what was coming, and he went back to take over the program.
No, but he won't admit to that, though.
He won't admit to it.
I talked to him a little bit last year up here, and he really liked the job that he had after he left the Bruins coaching staff and came up here.
Just missed coaching. Missed the kids.
And that's exactly what it is. He missed working with the kids, and when the opportunity for him to come back up here, as a matter of fact, he had a chance of taking the Granby High School job over in Norfolk, and since he was already pretty well set up in the city here, and with all the luck and the people that he's had to work with through Bethel High School, it was pretty easy for him to make the decision. And back to Bethel he goes as the
head coach
of the basketball team, and we'll be seeing him a little bit this year,
he was 28-1 his last year there. And he's coming back now. From what I'm hearing, he's going to have some pretty good-sized players there.
Well, from what I understand, 3 players from that are top 100. Came together as transfer students, and
I'm hearing 6'10", 6'8", and stuff like that. I don't know. I'd have to see them.
And they also had a pretty good nucleus of players.
John
Tell
Evans is a tremendous basketball player too.
Yep, and it's going to be really interesting when basketball season starts this year. And I understand the Crabbers basketball team did quite well during the summer league this year, so it's going to be a real interesting year coming up.
Of course, there are ladies' championships coming off a state championship.
As the Lady Crabbers, that's right.
They lost 1 starter, I think, or 2 starters.
They will be one of the favorites again in the district, not alone in maybe even in the state.
Yep.
As they knocked off the #1 and top seed team.
We were lucky to get to do that game last year up at in Richmond to see that state championship.
That was an unusual situation. I went up there and worked with a TV station out of the Washington D.C. district, and
I went up every game for 5 games and scouted everybody, got all the information together. And
what a job you did too!
Well, we had fun. My wife, she loves to see the sports too, and so we go up and watch the games anyway. And so we just did all the stats. And
well, you know, the best part about it is you're retired. You're able to do a lot of that stuff.
You should keep my schedule. you should keep my schedule.
Do they have the stats on downstairs in the truck? All right, so as soon as Andy can throw them up on the graphics, there they are. We'll go ahead and go over.
Well, we want to thank Bob Killen for filling in for me tonight. He's been helping me all along, but tonight he took over the sole reins for doing the stats. Just to tell you what's going on, Hampton's got 4 first downs and Bethel 5. Let's look at the rushing. Hampton's 13 rushes for 51, Bethel 20 rushes for 71. A little bit more time of possession. Passing's interesting. I'm trying to figure out how that works out. That 1 for 9 for Hampton with 1 interception and 2 for 7 for Bethel. Punt returns pretty much even, 3 and 3. Sacks pretty much even. What's that? I'm looking at the fumbles here. All right, 1-1 for Hampton. Fumbled
That
one
means
time,
they
lost,
fumbled and lost it.
one.
And
then
Bruins fumbled and didn't lose it. They
right.
got it back.
And penalties. Wow, Bethel's had 6 penalties for 50 yards, and Hampton's 4
there
for
was
29.
A couple of roughing penalties or personal
Right.
fouls from Bethel. Got
Right there,
30
too.
of those 50.
And all
So,
that leads to
7-0
7-0 score. And it's just been who took advantage of the breaks when they came, and so
Yes.
far that's been Bethel.
Crabbers are just now coming out of the locker room.
And total
And,
yards for Bethel for Hampton for the whole half is 65 yards.
I can believe that.
And the total yards for Bethel is only 90. So we're talking 25 yards difference.
All right, let's hear what the rushing yardage for Tron Martinez and Evans.
Let me just see here.
We are.
Here we go,
Evans
right here.
is 15.
Evans is 14 carries for 55 yards, and Martinez 11 carries for 41 yards. And so, it's a little bit. Evans a little bit ahead, but you got to look at time of possession too. Bethel's had the ball more, 8 more carries than Hampton has. So there it is, folks.
So as the Crabbers
7-0.
come back on the field, we will be getting set to start second half action here at Darla Stadium live as the Bethel Bruins out in front of the Hampton Crabbers 7-0. Still players coming out of the dressing room for the Crabbers.
Well, let's see what Coach Mitch is talking
Well,
to
I'll
him.
guarantee you he is not happy right
No.
now at the way the
With the
Crabbers
penalties,
are playing.
with the penalties, and
a couple of major penalties hurt the Crabbers' drives, and of course it didn't help any to have 2 turnovers that were very costly too. And 2 of them resulted after from pretty decent drives by the Crabbers. One in the first quarter and one in the second quarter.
But something happened on that scoring drive for Bethel. The same thing Phoebus was able to do with Hampton, and Denby even was able to do with Hampton to a degree.
They
stopped Hampton's run, and they were able to run the ball on traps, a little bit of misdirection, and pick up some yardage. And all 3 of those teams were able to do that. Kickoff was even able to stop Hampton in the first half, even through 3 quarters. So Hampton's got to get unwound, and this is the second half. The weather's not any worse than it was when they went in.
Well, actually, it's not raining
Yeah.
right now. It's still wet, obviously, because of all the rain we've had. But
You
at
look
least
at that
it's not
sideline
raining.
now. Before they got here, I could walk down that sideline now. It's a mud bowl already. And look at the middle of the field. And just one half of football. There's a difference. And of course, playing tonight, there won't be any games tomorrow night, so we'll have a week to heal, hopefully.
Well, at least till next Thursday when Hampton plays Thursday night against Warwick, and I believe that is over at Warwick. And I believe there's a Thursday night game here, isn't there? November the 1st. That'll be Denby coming here to play Phoebus. So next Thursday and Friday night they will have games here.
Then they're going to have the band thing,
Then
the
they
Warrior
have the-
Classic, all day on the 3rd of November.
And if
So
any of you people out there watching this thing live have never been to one of these Warrior Classics, it is a classic thing to watch, in all honesty.
Kickoff has been rated one of the best bands in the state for years. They're always in there. They work hard. You can hear them right now, as a matter of fact. But they do. They have a real hardcore. That's right. This is Bethel's band, but Kickoff's band. We were talking about their classic.
Did a pretty good job even in the rain.
But is it coming down again?
Ross, you down there near the 20-yard line. Why don't you go ahead and let us know how the field condition is? Go ahead, Ross.
Hey, guys, y'all said it had stopped raining, but I have to tell you, it's still raining because I'm feeling it. However, the ground is not in bad shape, as you what Scotty just says, not raining where you are.
That's right.
As you can see in the field right now.
It's dry up here, man.
Stomping down on it. The
Let me
ground
see you
is
run
really
20
holding
yards,
up.
Ross.
They should be able to play, but once again, we're outside the hash marks where it's not as bad and where not all the action is happening. So if they get outside, they're going to have some footing. But if not, and they stay in the middle over there, once again, we're going to have Mud Bowl 2 in the second half.
All right, thanks down there, Ross. As we get ready to start the second half action, Matt Mitchell for the Crabbers will be teeing the ball up.
Remember,
Jontel Evans is deep for the Bruins.
Bethel deferred the first half, and now they get the ball in the second half. Up 7-0, and they're going to take the ball on offense. Let's see if they can put any new wrinkles in here on this first series. A lot of coaches have a habit of doing that, just try to get a little surprise element going.
Well, this is going to be another situation like last night. The Crabbers, I don't think they're going to want to kick the ball to Evans. He'll probably squib it down the field and make him come running after the ball.
Well, he's got Cooperwood over, I think, on one side.
It's a real short kick. taken at the 32-yard line by number, I believe 24? That is number, is it 24?
24, yeah, that's Rio.
Yeah, that's Rio Walker. As he gets the ball out near the Bethel 40-yard line, where the Bruins will take over to start the third quarter here. Out in front of the Crabbers, 7-0 here at Darling Stadium, live WHCS Channel 46. Mike Hauser along with... What was that?
Just going to say, if he'd have kicked it out of bounds, he picked up 5 yards.
Yeah, yeah, he would have. Mike Hauser, along with Britt Musgrove and our illustrious guru over there taking care of our stats, Bob Killen. Pass over the middle, overthrown, intended for Cooperwood. Back there defending on the play was number 15 for the Crabbers, Paul Shaw.
First play from the scrimmage, 25-yard pass downfield, trying to open it up, isn't he?
And he was open too, but
yes,
it was about 5 yards overthrown.
Yep.
Actually, there was 2 Bethel players right standing next to each other. Second down and 10 now for the Bruins at their own 40. Hand off to Evans.
Maybe pick up a 2.
And he's going to stretch it to about a 2-yard gain. That'll put the ball down just outside of the 42-yard line. That'll bring up third down and 8 for the Bruins. Again, they're going in a no-huddle situation here for the most part. It looks like they have a nice little setup going with the coaches, and they actually call the play on the sideline as they're standing at the line of scrimmage. Third down and 8. Bone English is back in the shotgun.
Throw the ball.
Back to pass. Over the middle. And almost intercepted by the Crabbers' number 10, Debonair Foster.
Yeah.
And there is a flag on the play, holding against the Bruins, and the Crabbers should probably take that, because if they mark it from the spot, it's going to end up being a big penalty. He's going to decline it. Okay. If he declines it, it's going to be fourth down. And that's what he'll do. So the Crabbers will decline the holding penalty. That'll bring up fourth down and about 8 for the Bruins.
Just while they're changing players on the field, just to let people know, this game, of course, is being seen tonight. It'll be seen again on the 28th, which is Sunday at 7 o'clock, on Tuesday the 30th at 7 o'clock, and on Thursday, November the 1st at 7 o'clock. For those people who want to see this game again or got family coming in and getting a chance to see it tonight, those are the times we're going to be replaying this game.
In punt formation for the Bruins, number 15, Devin Maddox. Sean Fields, number 7 for the Crabbers, back near his own 30.
Did he hit him?
No.
Okay. Got a good kick out of that.
Decent kick, considering the snap was almost over his head, all the way down near the 20-yard line. We'll wait to see where they mark it. But the Crabbers will take over their first possession in the second half.
24, looks like. 23 or 24.
Like the 23-yard line.
Good catch by the 60s. Oh, he just couldn't get there. Wrong side of the ball.
That ball almost hit the Crabber, number 10 over there.
Not paying attention to it.
First and 10 for Hampton at the 23-yard line. Trailing the Bethel Bruins 7-0 here. A couple of minutes into the third quarter.
And let's see if Hampton can sustain a drive now.
Paul Shaw, the single wide out to the near side into formation. There's Martinez on the carry. Not much over there. He looks like he's going to pick up maybe about 2 or 3 on the play outside the 25. That's going to bring up second down and long.
Second and 7. Still running the same basic plays. Hampton's just looking to try to break one. There you see John Teller on the sidelines.
5 yards in the first half, Evans, I believe. Second down and 7 now for the Crabbers after the gain of 3. And Martinez is really having to work himself tonight in order to get yards.
Hampton's going to a different setup back there now. They're
about 45 yards. That's close to the same setup they had towards the end of the second quarter. Back to pass. He's being flushed out and down. He's going to go down.
He's down.
That's number 10 for the Bruins, Corey Boyd, on the tackle, as he sacks Matt Mitchell in the backfield. Loss of about 4 on the play.
Loss of about 1.
4.
Looking where to spot the flag. He'd gained 3, but they've gone back 4. He's back about a little over 10 yards now.
Loss of 4 on the play.
you. I didn't want to make you wrong. I want to make sure you were right. It was important to you. It's important to you. I understand. I'm new at this. You got to understand. This is third down and 10.
You're doing all right. So, again, we got third down and long for the Crabbers.
Back in a passing situation.
In the I formation,
Got
2
Schaefer
wide
out
outs.
wide, right.
Shaw to the near side. Back to pass, a draw, and he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. The Bethel Bruins snuffed that one right out. He's lucky to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's 3 and out. Well, Bethel's just going to crowd the line until Mitchell hits some passes. We're going to.
Right. Loss of a yard on the play. 4th down and 12.
Where Hampton was moving the defense in the first quarter, Bethel has brought all the linebackers up within 2 yards, 3 yards of the line.
That's where they're going to stay until they have to start passing it.
Oh, lucky to get that through there.
And Cooperwood will let it go, and it's downed by Sean Fields of the Crabbers at the Crabber 48-yard line.
He looked
a 25-yard punt.
and thought the ball would
He
be
didn't
there
get
when
over
he
4
kicked
feet
it.
high at any time.
A line shot.
Pick it off the back of somebody.
Here's a replay. Watch this
It's a
ball.
little wet out there, though. He had to get rid. Look at you see that rain coming down.
You ought to be lucky you're
He's gotta
not
get rid
down
of it.
there.
Look at
That
the shine
water
on that ball.
is stinking. It smells like sewer.
Let that ball drop way
Way
too low.
too soon. Yeah.
In a good place. It stinks like hell there.
1st and 10 for the Bruins at the Crabber 48-yard line. This is their best field possession here in the second half. Malone English, the quarterback for the Bruins. 3 wideouts to the near, 1 to the far side.
Back in the shotgun.
Evans on the carry.
Handoff.
And they
On
had
the
him there
wide.
in the backfield. He gets away from him. He's got a blocker out in front. He gets inside of the Crabber 40-yard line down to about the 39.
Pick up about 9. Just, you know. So
Follow his blockers.
we used to just call it in high school, everybody right. That's what happened. Just a big old sweep.
See if they mark it close enough. And looks like a mark of about 8 yards on the play. 2nd down in the short 2.
You see everybody coming this way. Boom, 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 boom.
Follows his blocker. That's
It's
Cooperwood did a good
about
job
the
right there
39-yard
leading.
line. Yeah, 39-yard line.
2nd down and short now for the Bruins.
Go back
3
to the
wideouts
shotgun.
again.
Okay,
Evans trying to
He
find a
didn't get
place
it
to
that
go,
time.
and this time he got nowhere.
He lost a yard if they mark it where he got hit. But they're not.
Like
They
they're
put
gonna-
him back at the 40.
Well, he was a little bit over the 40. He's going to lose about the distance of the football, and that's about it. I'll still call it 2. 3rd down and 2 now. Let's see if he actually got the ball to the line.
Awful close. Good spot. I don't get paid that money. Hampton needs to get a stop here. It's 3rd and 2.
Lone English again in the shotgun.
And he's got John Tell back there next to him. 3 receivers wide left. Well, call offsides. That's the 3rd time. That's the old Hampton trick that they're getting back.
Yep. Bethel is doing the exact same thing to Hampton that Hampton has done against their opponents for years. Offside, 5-yard penalty. That's going to be good for a first down.
Yep. Well, it didn't take Coach Nelson a couple of years to pick up on what Mike Smith did it?
Oh. They had about 4 guys that were offside.
There we go.
Make up
First
the
and
mind
10.
where they wanted to mark it at. It's marked right at the 35-yard line. And you go from the 40 to the 34. That's 6 yards. Lone English again in the shotgun. He looks like he's going to set back and pass. He throws the ball behind him.
I don't know if it got tipped or not. I couldn't tell.
The intended receiver for the Bruins was number 7, Franklin James. Incomplete.
I couldn't tell if it was touched or not, but he just evidently just threw it behind his receiver.
Ball Shaw on
Wet
the
ball.
coverage back there.
It's a wet ball. Okay, here you go. You see him. Nope, ball was not touched. He just threw it behind the receiver.
The Bethel calls their first time out here in the second half.
It is 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line of the Crabbers. And Bethel trying to move in for the second score, which would really put the pressure on the Crabbers. Hampton sitting 4th in Division 5 as far as the rankings right now.
Bethel is sitting 4th in Division 6. Both of these teams, unless they actually just plain fall apart and lose those, the last 2 games, are pretty much assured of a playoff spot.
I don't think
the
either
key
one.
for the Crabbers is to have a home game. In order for the Crabbers to have a home game, they've got to win at least one of the last 2 games. And next week, Thursday night over at Tide, the Crabbers travel over there to play the Raiders.
Who've been
of
playing
Warren.
tough football lately.
That's right.
I don't know who they're playing tonight. I think they're playing with Woodside or Heritage Wine. I'm not sure who they're playing tonight.
Woodside was playing at Gloucester, and it was that game over at Gloucester between Woodside and Gloucester.
Todd Stadium's been canceled tonight. We just got told. Okay.
That game was pushed back until Monday night.
Here we go.
Second down and 10. McGlone English back to pass again and being flushed out of the pocket, and down he goes. That's the first sack of the night for the Crabbers, and that is
all the way
number
back
70.
At the 42-yard line.
Anthony Wardrett on the stop that time, and that's a loss of about 8.
Loss of 7 or 8 yards, yeah. Here is he. I don't think he even sees him. Or he just couldn't get out of the way.
He and Evans collided against each other and trying to, as McGlone English wanted to get out of the way. A loss of about 8 on the play. Third and 18 now for the Bruins. This time they're setting up offensively with 4 wideouts, 2 to either side of the ball. Standing beside McGlone English is Jontel Evans.
I got the field spread out here now.
Raw play to Evans. Played well by the Crabbers, and he's not going to get much there. If anything, he's going to lose a couple of yards.
Taken out of bounds at the 45 and 44.
He will lose 2 on the play, and that'll force the Bruins into a punting situation here.
Hampton almost got the last one. So it's just going to be here's that play again. They just strung him out. He wasn't able to get outside. There's the first player right there that just pushed him back. And here comes the rest of the crowd.
Wardrett did a good job containing that one.
Yes, sir. And Andy Allison finished it off at the sideline. So did a good job there, Andy.
Maddox in the punt for the Bruins. Back deep is Sean Fields. For the Crabbers, back inside his 20.
Better.
Almost got to that one. And that one gets a Bruin bounce all the way down to the 10-yard line.
11-yard line, I think, is what it was spotted.
People who live in Bethel don't have satellite.
Looking at the official over here.
So the Crabbers, after the punt by the Bruins, will take over first and 10 at their own 11-yard line as the field possession right now is working its way towards the Hampton side.
It's all on this end of the field, yeah. Hampton starting at their own 10 or 11-yard line.
Yeah.
7-0 Bethel. 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. Considering the fact that there hasn't been a lot of scoring in this game, this has been a rather slow game. Mitchell now will bring them up to the line of scrimmage.
A whole lot of green shirts out there. I don't
feel like they're not sure exactly what the Crabbers are doing right now, but
yeah, I'm like you. I'm trying to figure. Okay, now here they go. They're going down to set. Okay.
3 wideouts in the game. There's a handoff up the middle. Is that Graves?
It was handoff over on this end. It was Graves 42. Yeah.
He's going to pick up a yard at most.
Here comes again. You see, this inside handoff. Ball was there for a second. He just didn't get there quick enough.
Bruins closed that up real quick. Gain of a yard on the play. Wholesale changes now for the Crabbers as 3 players come into the game.
It's not even a yard, maybe a half a yard on that gain.
And we'll call a second down and long 9 for the Crabbers. And
it's packing it in, looking like the run. I mean, they're keeping things tight.
They're not wanting to do any changing here, and they've got to open this game up some to be able to get out of that hole. Paul Shaw in motion. Mitchell on a keeper.
I don't know what's being set up here. I guess it's because they're down at this end of the field.
Pick up a yard at most.
It's going to be 3rd and 8. And Bethel's just stopping everything on the ground. So,
don't forget, tonight's game is brought to you by Zooms. Zoom's the proud owner of David Allen, and Zoom sponsoring this again this year. Zoom supports the student athletes at Hampton City Schools and has been a great community partner.
They've been with us a long time. They did a great job.
They've done a really good job for us. Eric Thompson, realtor with William E. Wood, has also been with us for a few years now. He's a Hampton City School alumni. Pass is incomplete behind the intended receiver.
Well, it hit him, but it was behind him a little bit. It was Schaefer.
Schaefer intended for, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 8 as the Crabbers are going to be forced to punt deep in their own territory.
Again, it should have been enough for a first down is what I'm curious about. Right there's a pass. He had to come behind him to get it. It would have been right at the first down.
Right at it.
Yep.
The Smith now drops back to punt the ball for the Crabbers. And my headset just went dead. Cooper Wood is the returner. Nice punt this time by Mitchell at the 45. And he slips a couple of tackles inside down to the 30.
Took him out about the 31.
Bethel will get great field position here on this particular play as they will now start 1st and 10 from the Crabber 31-yard line. And also Parkline Wood Funeral Home located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. Nancy Staten is the manager. They've been sponsoring the WHCS Channel 46 now for quite a few years.
Watch this. He catches it at 45. That's 5, 10. Gets 14 yards on the return.
The Bruins now set themselves back up in good field position, leading this game 7-0 over the Crabbers.
Cooper Wood taking a break. Number 80 coming in, Simmons, to give Cooper Wood a breather.
Montel Evans again is the running back behind.
Whoa, that just got that punt away, I'll tell you.
And off to Evans. Up the middle.
Yep, pick up
Gets
about.
just inside of the 30. He's going to pick up 2 yards on the play.
I got to tell you, if Bethel breaks one, I think right now Nelson say if I break one, fine. As long as I'm controlling the ball down at this end of the field, I'll just work hard to get a score. If he gets another 3 points on the board, it's a different ball game.
Pierre win for number 30 for the Crabbers on the stop.
Right now, Evans has got 19 carries for 64 yards.
That's good defense on the Crabbers'
part. That's right. I'm saying.
This is a young man that's got almost 1,200 yards rushing, and the Crabbers are holding them to under 70 yards so far for the game. Back to pass, being flushed out, and down he goes.
Loss of about 6 or 7 yards there. Depends on where they spot it.
Back on the sack for the Crabbers is William Jefferson and also Jamal Williams.
Spotted it on the 34. Here's that takedown.
That'll be a loss of about 5 on the play.
Well, in English, he had his eyes on something. Uh-oh. There it is. He realizes a little bit late on the break. And in came number 60, who's been making plays all day.
That's William Jefferson.
Yep.
And James Lynch. 3rd down and about 13 for the pass. And there's a flag down. What is the penalty here, gentlemen? What did they do, line up off sides?
No, he jumped.
Oh, he did? I was looking at the score sheet.
Yep.
That's about 4 times tonight that the Crabbers have jumped offside.
There's a little rule about that. Watch the ball. Watch the ball. You just see him come right now. Well, I'm not so sure. Yeah.
Well, if they called the guy in front of the center, he wasn't offside. He went with the ball. It must have been the outside lineman. Oh, nice play on Pierre Wynn's fault. He stuck his hand out there, and that could have been a big play for the Bruins.
That could have been big right there. Yes,
nice play by Pierre Wynn on a 3rd down. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 8 now for the Bruins.
Watch this play here. He had, of course, again, we keep talking about.
Well, the ball was behind him anyhow.
Yeah, the ball was wet.
I'm not sure Cooper would have even had the chance of catching that ball.
Yep.
It looks like the Bruins are going to go for it here on 4th down. They're lining up 4th down and 8 at the Crabber 29-yard line.
Let's see what play he's got special for this.
And it's a draw play.
It's a trap, and it's working.
And it's working. Jontel Evans is all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Yep. It's that inside trap. It's just what Ross was talking about in the first half.
Great play calling by the Bethel Bruin coaching staff, I'm going to tell you.
No flags on the play.
They're doing a good job. Nice run by
Jontel Evans.
Jontel Evans. He gets the ball down to the 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark it.
Just watch this open up. Just goes right back the opposite way.
Like it's going to be marked near the 11, so it's going to be 1st and 10. They can get a first down, but they'll be real close to the goal line. Win back set behind or beside McGovern English.
And gonna run the ball from here.
Evans again on the keeper. He broke loose, and he's going to go in. So Evans goes in, and there is a flag on the play in the backfield. Oh, my goodness.
Throws it down at the 10.
So that 10-yard or 11-yard run by Jontel Evans is being brought back on a holding penalty by the Bruins.
He got awful free over there. Here's a replay of it. Let's see where that. Oh, here they come. Boom.
There's the hole right there. Like
oh, that's going to make it 1st and 20 at the 21. It should be.
Well, the flag was thrown right on the 20, on the 10, so
okay.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Either way, it's we'll call
first
it 1st and 19.
Yeah.
How about that?
I like that.
All right, 2 wide outs to the far side. Single wide out to the near side, and again Evans on a carry. He gets outside the containment, down inside the 15, near the 14-yard line.
He just flat ran around everybody.
What was that, Scotty?
He just ran around everybody. Hampton wasn't even responding to the blocking. There's no flags on the table.
Well, he's down near the 14-yard line.
14-yard.
Second down and
picked up 6.
About 13.
There's a missed tackle right there. Down at the
I didn't
14.
think he actually got to the 14, but here goes it.
Here again.
Jontel Evans again. He's going to get down maybe a yard on the play.
He's got him down to about the 13, I think.
Nice crowd here tonight considering the weather we've had. 2:23 to go on a running clock. 7-0 Bethel.
3rd and 12.
89 yards now for Evans. We thank Bob Killen for his help in taking the stats tonight for this game. 3rd down and 12.
The only threat in the second half has come from the green and gold. They're the only ones that have put a threat on the ball.
I don't think Hampton's had a first down in the second half, have they?
Not sure. Let me check with the.
Lone English is on the run now, and he has stopped well short. I believe he fumbled the ball, and he did, as the Travers
take over.
Have recovered the fumble at about the 11-yard line, and I'm not real sure at this point who got the fumble. Here's a replay. Let's see if we can see who got the fumble there for the Crabbers. There's the ball. I don't even see the ball.
I don't even see the ball at all.
That looks like number 24 coming in from the backside.
Yeah, 24 came up from the backside.
That was Dion Funch on the recovery for the Crabbers. So the Crabbers take over after the Bruins have their first turnover of the game.
1:47 in the third quarter remaining, and Hampton just had 1 first down in this.
Pitch to Martinez, and he's going to lose a yard.
Solid tackle by 49, and that's by Gale, James Gale.
Take a look at the field right now. You'll notice that the green and gold had 1 player deep, and that's number 1, Antone Jarvis, and everybody else is on the line.
Look at this. Look at this good tackling. There's a missed block, and the tackler's right there. Great tackle. One-on-one tackle.
So a loss of almost 2 on the play. That's going to bring up second down and close to 12 now for the Crabbers.
49 shed that block just as nice as you could.
Down on the 9-yard line. Yep.
So here we go. It should be second and about 11, I think.
Crabbers have 4 wide outs out. There's a blitz up the middle.
He dropped the ball.
And I hope he got the ball back. Otherwise, Bethel is going to be in great position here.
And they're now on the 4. Hampton recovered now on the 4, so that's going to make it 3rd down.
And a bunch.
And about 17, something like that. 16 or 17. 16 yards, yeah.
And the Crabbers are going in the wrong direction, folks. As we get near the end of the 3rd quarter, we got 30 seconds left, and still Bethel out in front 7-0. But so far, the Bruins are handling the Crabbers defensively. Here we go, 3rd down and a bunch for the Crabbers.
Yeah. And they're coming too, folks. I guarantee you, they're coming.
Back to pass, wide open. It's complete to number 10.
He was down.
He got the ball out to the 10-yard line. It's Debonair Foster on the completion.
Low pass, and he had to put his knee down to catch the ball. I like
Gain
it.
of about 6 on the play to the 10. It's going to be 4th down and 11.
Let's see this knee. I want to see this touch. Right there.
Yeah, he's down. Excellent call. So we're at the end of the 3rd quarter of play as the Hampton Crabbers will have the ball to start the 4th on a 4th down. And let's send it down to the sideline with the cheerleaders of the Bethel Bruins.
You're watching Bethel Bruins on WHCS TV 46.
All right, also we got our player profile of the
Yeah, Mike, I had a chance to talk to a young man that's out on the field a lot tonight, number 15, Paul Shaw. What a great young man. I talked to him for about 20 minutes on the phone, and he's just a good guy. He's got his mother's got 3 children. He's one of 3. He loves basketball. He plays basketball for Coach Bauer at Hampton. He likes shopping and playing Madden football. And his favorite colleges are Virginia Tech, NC State, West Virginia. And pros are Broncos and the Ravens. And he wants to go to college and major in business. He would like to play football in college, and he's thinking about Old Dominion and that new program they got going over there. His brother played football for Bethel 2 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, I may be thinking something different. No, I'm sorry, the wrong one. He's got 2 younger brothers, Nathaniel and Vincent, and they're both playing Pee Wee football or Cavalier football and are going to be Hampton Crabbers.
Here's a punt by Mitchell Cooperwood back deep for the Bruins. Gets a Hampton bounce, but not much, as it falls dead at the Crabber 35-yard line where the Bruins will take over. First and 10.
Paul played football for Hampton since the 8th grade. Played JV football in the 8th grade and 4 years on the varsity. And he just loves the game of football. And he's already GPA qualified. And he's just looking to go somewhere and play some more ball and get a business degree. And he's just really tickled to be a Hampton Crabber, and his whole family's been Hampton Crabbers for a long time. And thanks out there, Paul. Enjoyed talking with you.
All right, Bruins take over 1st and 10 at the Crabber 35-yard line, as the entire second half has been played in Hampton territory.
They're handing off to John Tell.
There's Evans on the carry. He's going to pick up a yard, and he'll get to the 34.
If Coach Nelson can keep from making mistakes and keeps Hampton at this end of the field, Hampton so far has not shown the ability to sustain a drive.
Well, we talked about that earlier. Hampton, in order to be able to be successful, the Crabbers are going to have to complete some passes.
Yep.
And until they can complete some passes and get and loosen up that Bruin defense up front, it's going to stay like it is now.
Well, they've been in a hole. They've had to start at around their 5 or 10 the last couple of. They had to start around their 5 or 10 now. There we go, John Kelly. He picked up about another 5. So he's closing in on the 100-yard mark.
Our 4th quarter sponsors for tonight's game, Zooms. Proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zoom supports student-athletes in the Hampton City Schools. Along with Eric Thompson, Realtor with William E. Wood. Eric is a Hampton City School alumni and past state champions in wrestling. Also by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway in North Armstead Avenue. Call Nancy Staten at 827-4670. And also by Kelly's, our new sponsor this year, as they've helped out a lot feeding us, and what a great job they've done with us as far as supplying us with food for dinner. Kelly's Tavern with 2 locations, one at Port Warwick and Newport News, and also Coliseum Drive in Hampton.
Something like that. I think it was about 92 the last time that Bethel beat Hampton.
Well, it's been 15 years since the Bruins have defeated the Crabbers. Here is 4th down and almost 5.
Yeah, I think he was. I think Cos was a coach when that happened. Well, here we go. It's 4th down, and they're going to try to pin Hampton inside again.
Field goal in NFL, man. It's a field goal anywhere but around here.
Little pooch kick towards the far sideline.
Maybe the best field position Hampton's had.
At the 11, right back where they were at the other end of the field. So the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. And the Crabbers have, in the first half, had very good starting position for the majority of the first half. But in this entire second half, they've been all the way back inside their own 20 on every occasion. What you got down for us, Ross?
Guys, it's really apparent standing here on the sideline. You have the Bethel sideline, which is upbeat, really motivating the team on the field. And it just seems to be very quiet on the Hampton sideline. They seem to be subdued. They really seem to be out of sync. So they need to pick the game up, pick the speed up, and get into this ball game before it's too late.
Well, as you say, too late there. We're talking about 9 minutes and counting in the 4th quarter.
Before the snap was even made, the referees are throwing flags on the ground. Wait and see
walking backwards, so I don't
see
know
what Larry Turlington has to say. Looks like Bethel lined up offside in the neutral zone. So that'll help the Crabbers out. Free 5 yards there on that penalty.
Looks like we're starting to get a little wetter here, my friend.
Yep, it's starting to drizzle pretty hard now. If you can look at the track down there, you can see it raining pretty good. And I tell you what, I really feel for not only the fans out here that don't have umbrellas, but our crew that are out there standing in this rain. Martinez up the middle, maybe a yard at the most, and the Bruins defense really have had him bottled up pretty much the entire second half.
And like you say, you were talking about it a minute ago. They've brought the entire defensive group up to within 3 yards of the line, except for one safety back there, just about. And that's about. You'll see it again. You look how many people are around the line when this play goes down. So everybody's coming that way. You know, while you're talking about the production crew, let's talk about them again. Of course, on cameras, we got Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Bateman, and Steve Fryer. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. And I'll hold a second while they're getting ready for this second down play.
Mitchell behind center.
Mitchell's still down there.
Trying to draw him offside, and he'll go ahead and run the play now. There's a pitch again to Martinez. He gets outside. Oh, what a great job by Cooperwood. Almost had him. But Mitchell.
Well, that's going to be close to
no, he may be close to a first down here. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the 22. Go ahead.
On the camera control operator is Sarah Myers. And here's that replay. Let's just say he jumped a good tackle right here. Because, I mean, Cooper would come up there and got a good shot at him.
He was close to having that knee down, too.
Yeah. And
so they're going to give him the first down. Well,
they're marching backwards. What now?
Well, the referee called them on originally, and now he's saying stay over. I'm giving them the first down.
Production assistant Renee Cameron, audio and chief engineer Don Sherrouse, director and producer Scotty Bowers. Of course, I get my shot up here with the great Mike Hauser. I'm Brent Musgrove, just trying to fill in for a while Paul's away, and we are lucky to have.
Oh, wait, they got you on camera.
Field. Oh, there I am.
And there's Bob Killen down there to the other side of the camera in the booth. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers. That's their second first down here in the second half.
Let's hope they can turn that into something, make this a game anyway. Let's see how this
in the I formation, 3 wide outs, 2 to the near side. Handoff up the middle to Graves. He gets hit by his own player.
Yeah, runs to the back of his own player.
He still picks up about good 5 yards on the play, and there is a Bethel player down. He even has his helmet off.
Clock stopped at 8:05. Trying to see who that is. Can you tell? It's number 73 for Bethel.
That's him. He's up now.
That's
sitting up.
Perry Cuthell. It's offensive line and defensive line. He's just a junior. Let's see if we can see where the injury took place.
That was a nice block by the Crabbers getting him down out of the play, but it may have hurt his leg on the play.
Yep, he's not trying to get up.
Got a 5-yard gain for the Crabbers. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 once play resumes.
And 5 yards for the Crabbers. We'll make it 2nd down and 5 now.
I believe it's 73. Yeah.
Well, the best we can tell right now, A lot of people looking at him. He's moving, though. Just want to let you know, don't get nervous. Just people are talking to him. He's moving his feet and his hands, and he's talking to look like they're going to get him up now. All shook up. Oh, yeah. There's Coach Nelson out there, first one out there to take care of his players, I'm going to tell you. He believes in these guys coming together as a team. I'm telling you, they do everything together. See that little key around his neck? He wears that as good luck and tells that the players all believe in it. That's the key to making yourself better. Playing good football, working together as a team. And the key symbolizes that.
Well, the coach has really brought in a new perspective on the football program at Bethel. The last few years, they've really struggled. They even have a hard time getting some of their athletes to come out and play. But now with his enthusiasm out there and bringing this team together as a whole and as a team, he's done a great job coming in here. And they're bringing in some new blood and at the school at Bethel to lead the football program. And he has proven so far this year to get his players to buy into his program, and they're doing a great job.
2nd and 5.
7-1 on the season. You can't, the only losses to the number one team in the state. What else can you ask for? And they lost that one by a field goal and with less than a minute to go.
Yep. And so this could be a completely different.
There's a little pass from Mitchell that had no chance of completing that pass.
Just a shot put pass, it almost looked like. I don't know if a defender got his hands on it.
Chris Johnson was the intended receiver for the Crabbers.
That's going to be 3rd down and 5. Those are the things you got to complete, but like you say, Bethel has got everybody up within 5-6 yards. So it's hard to complete that little pass, to find that lane. Got one safety back and a man out on each wide receiver, and that's everybody else is up. He got 8 people up there in close quarters.
The 3rd down and 5 now for the Crabbers.
Right now they got 9 up there.
Y'all got somebody covering Salem, right?
3 wide outs. Shaw to the near side, 2 wide outs to the top.
Look at that line where they've got him packed in there.
And off up the middle, and
ain't going nowhere.
It's going to pick up maybe a yard or 2, and that's it.
Yep.
Doug Graves up the middle. He's going to get out to about the 32, and he's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
4th and 1. A long one, but 4th and 1's what they're showing. Let's see if it's time for Hampton to take that chance.
Awful early for that, I think. Still got 7 minutes left in the game, and it's only 7-0.
Score for the Salem on the green run game?
7-09. And they're taking so long to get the play in, there might be a 5-yard penalty anyway. Let's get this done, guys.
Well, Mitchell brings them up to the line. They're in the eye, 1 wide right.
Oh, he just got told to 7.
Graves on the handoff, and he is chopped right at the line of scrimmage. And I believe Graves did not get the first down. He's going to be short by a good yard.
73 has hurt his knee and will not be back in the game for Bethel tonight. They're going to get a look at it and make sure he's okay.
Now, they're going to measure it, but he did not get that first down.
I don't think so either.
Watch him. He got chopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's a good mark right there for Bethel too. He's a good half a yard or more short, I think. But do the right thing and go ahead and measure for it, and we got a good picture of it right here. It is good half a yard short. So now Hampton is backed up again, and they've got to defend the goal line. As the Bethel Bruins take over now, 1st and 10 at the Crabber 31-yard line. Well, Mike Smith has always been known to take chances, but I personally think that was probably a punt situation with 7 minutes to go in the game.
You got to make something happen. You got to get a spark, and I think that's what he was going for. I didn't think that the runner got real good footing.
Evans on the carry, hits the line.
The whole line is pushing Hampton back right there.
Gray looks like number 15 for the Crabbers on the tackle, Paul Shaw, as he helped drag him down.
Gonna pick up about 4.
2nd down and 6 for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Grabbing hold of his britches and pulling him down. Tell you what, the field crew is going to have to repaint all the lines after tonight's game because we can't hardly see them on the field anymore. Ball sits at the 26. Second down and 6 now for the Bruins. Evans again on the carry to the left side.
He's going to get some yardage.
He's going to pick up enough yards to get down to about the 22-yard line. He's going to be about 1.5 yards, 2 yards shy. That's going to bring up about a third down. We'll call it 2 for the Bruins.
Sure do, because it was raining.
And that's all the Bethel needs to do is just keep pounding the ball just like that. Here's a replay of the last game.
I think he was 12-8 or 12-7. Hampton had the ball last, and the guy caught the ball, and hit him on the goal line.
It's chewing it out. That's a great job on that camera crew, isn't it? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You can't even tell the weather's bad out here.
3rd and 2.
Okay, thanks.
Draw him off sides if you can. Oh, he slipped. He slipped.
And I don't think he got the first down. As a matter of fact, he probably got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So the Crabbers hold on 3 downs, and it's going to be 4th down and 2, and we'll have to wait and see what Coach Nelson wants to do for the Bruins.
He's got the ball down at the 21, 23-yard line?
23.
And,
it'd be a pretty good, pretty long field goal attempt. That would be a 40-yarder from there.
Well, he did that little pooch kick last time, remember? Just flipped it out and punted it about 10, 11 yards.
They're going to go for it. Why not? 4th down and 2 from their from the Hampton 23.
They've been holding Hampton. I mean,
defense has done their job.
Yeah.
Now the Crabbers defense needs to come up big here.
4th and 2. Let's see if
making 4th and 7 now because one of the Bethel players jumped.
I think they were going to try to take it straight ahead, didn't you? It looked like you.
No doubt. I mean, 5-yard penalty is going to make it 4th and 7 now, so that changes it a little bit.
They're passing it a little pooch punt. Yep.
He's the only player that moved. Like they're still going to line up.
Okay. It's just a very interesting situation down there. Hampton down to 4:25, and it's 4th down and 7 for Bethel. The last time they pooch kicked in a situation like this.
2 wide outs to the far side, 1 wide out to the near in the eye. And see, they're trying to pull him off. No, and this time McGlone English goes up the middle. He is not going to get the first down. He's going to be stopped at about the 23, 24-yard line. So Hampton stops the Bruins on that, and now we'll get the ball 1st and 10.
Well, what did they do? They kept the clock running. As soon as the change of the ball is put down, it's going to start running again.
And this entire game has been played, the entire second half has been played on Hampton's end of the field.
Yeah, Hampton hasn't been at the Bethel end of the field, I do not believe.
The Crabbers have only had 2 first downs in the entire second half, 4 in the first, so 6 for the game. I mean, Hampton's defense has done a great job stopping that powerful team from Bethel that averages 38 points a game. They only have 7 tonight. I mean, Bethel scored 27 points against Phoebus, if you remember correctly.
Thankful.
Ball 5 against the Bruins.
5-yard penalty against the Bruins.
Well, this is the way Hampton started out last time with a 5-yard penalty.
1st and 5 now.
And it was 1st and 5.
Well, like I said, if you remember correctly, Bethel averages 38 points a game. They scored 27 against the Phoebus Phantoms. And right now the Crabbers have held them to 7. And there goes Martinez on his best run of the game. And he gets out of bounds at the, let's see, looks like he's at the
49.
They're going to mark it at the 45. You see where he's marking it? Let's see what they do with it.
20-yard gain there for...
Give them 20 yards on the gain and another first down for the Crabbers. That's the best run of the night for the Crabbers.
It's about the first pitch out that they've had, but they sent an extra blocker out there.
Sean Fields did a good job leading the way.
Yep, he went out right there at the 45.
And along with Doug Graves, number 42, there's the lead blockers on the play and allowed Martinez to pick up the 20 yards. That'll give Martinez probably a little bit more than 60 on the game so far.
Here we go in motion again. Nice swing.
There's a handoff to Graves up the middle. He bowls his way up for about 4 yards near the 49.
We're inside of 4 minutes now. Clock running.
On the stop for the Bruins was number 38.
2nd and 7.
They got 36, and that is Travis Parker.
Here's that replay.
They got away with that one down there. Number 30, when Bethel was on offense, he was simulating the snap count, and the ref didn't.
There we
hear it,
go.
and that's why the board.
2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 for the Crabbers. In motion is Pierre Wynn. Pitches
Same
back
pitch
over
out as
to
before.
Martinez, gets good
Close to
yardage
the
this
first
time.
down. He's going to be a little short.
He's going to be about a yard and a half short as he gets the ball near the 46-yard line of the Bethel Bruins. That's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Crabbers.
Well, this time this is 4-down territory. Hampton cannot afford to punt. They either got to keep this ball going down the field or
3rd down and 2. They got to get, if they get the ball to the 45, they'll have a first down.
Hampton has all 3 of their timeouts left.
This is do or die here now, folks, I think. Pierre Wynn again setting up to the near side in the slot.
A lot of time, taking a whole lot of time.
Sean Fields is the wide receiver to the far side. There goes the motion, and there's
First down.
Martinez right up the middle. He's going to pick up I thought he picked up more than that.
I did too. The whole crowd went back.
They're going to mark it right at the 45-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down.
Should be a first down. Let's get a play in, guys, while they're marking the ball. They're going to measure. Yes.
Yeah, okay, he got tackled over there. We were blocked by the player, so he's down right at the 45. So the
should be
Larry
a first down.
Turlington for the officials have called the sticks on to measure it. Let's take a look at it. It'll be a little bit short. About an inch short.
If you can go back and look at where this man on this side had the spot with his foot, it was on that side of the line. When they put the ball down on that end, it was on the other side.
What they doing?
They got to respot it.
Okay.
You got to mark it again. So that's why he's taking the change.
Got to bring it up to the middle of the field there. Up to
Let's see if they're going to run that same old tackle play that they ran last time down here and turn the ball over.
Do something unexpected and go to the outside because Bethel's going to stack the line.
Well, the rain is starting to.
Coming down pretty hard now, folks.
And it's 2:32 to go.
4th and an inch. And I'll guarantee you they're going to set up and
You
try
look
to
at that Bethel line. They are lined up right there, right over top.
Mitchell on a keeper. He got over the line. He got it by about a yard before he is pushed back. That's good enough for a Crabber first down.
Clock stopped with 2:19 while they set the ball. First down.
7-0 Bethel here at Darlin Stadium live. Peninsula District football here in 2007.
Well, Mike hasn't thrown the ball on this possession yet, and he's trying to do it, open it up a little bit with some end sweeps and stuff like that, pitch outs. That's gained the most yards for him in this set. A little pitch
setting
out.
up and getting that lead blocker has helped them out a lot because they hadn't used that in the first half.
Putting the man in motion.
Pierre Wynn is the one that's been going in motion.
Yep.
And he is set off to the slot now, and he's going in motion again. See if they run to the left again, and that's where they go. Up the middle is Martinez, and it looks like he's going to pick about 4 yards on the play out to the 41-yard line.
Gain of 4.
Got to
get moving here, I'm telling you.
It's like the Crabbers are going to call their first time out, and they do.
And they got 2 left, and it's 1:44 left in the game, folks, and they are on the 40-yard line, roughly.
This would have been the time where Roger Staubach would have threw the down and out the drill.
Nice job by Martinez to work his way through the line.
Oh, that's a good point.
Find out how many yards that Martinez has rushing in the game so far.
I guess I watched too much.
79 yards on 22 carries. Is that what he said? Pretty good. Considering he had 45 in the first half, and most of the yards here in the second half has been on this drive.
Yep. And they got 1:44 and 2 timeouts left. And it's coming to a time where these 4- and 5-yard plays are not going to get them to get the job done.
Well, they got to work their way down the field. They have 2 timeouts left. It's 2nd down and 6 now.
They got to get some bigger chunks, I think, than 5 and 6 yards. They've got to make something.
There's only, the defense of the Bethel Bruins has really been stout tonight.
Yeah, they got some good sized boys in there. And There you go. Hampton's got it in tight. They got all.
If Wynn goes in motion.
Yep.
No, that's Shaw.
That's Shaw going in motion this time. Back for a pass.
Complete to Shaw. He's out of bounds over there near a first down. Looks like he's going to be about 2 yards shy of it. It looks like the
looking where the
referees.
official marked the ball.
Well,
yeah.
he looks like he's marking it at about the 37. But that's another good pass by Mitchell to Shaw.
Wow, he must have stepped out with his feet. That's the only thing I can figure.
I was going to say the ball landed on the other side of the 35.
So I can't see the sideline, so his feet must have gone out before he got down.
Third down and about 2 now for the Crabbers. There's Shaw in motion again. Pitches out to Martinez. He has the first down. A lot more yardage as he gets down inside the 30 of the Bruins. And this is what the Crabbers have to do. Work the ball down the field, get the ball out of bounds, and stop the clock.
They've run 2 plays in 14 seconds, and this is exactly what they've got to do. Here's that play again. The same little pitch with either Wynn or Shaw leading the blocking as they go in motion. He just puts an extra blocker on the side.
Ball sits at the Bruin 29-yard line.
So far, they've only done that to the left side. So evidently they've either picked up something there or they're trying to set something up. I don't know what it might be. Here he goes in motion again.
All in motion again, pitch out to the same play to the left side is Martinez, and there's a flag thrown at. Had absolutely nothing to do with the play.
I can't imagine what he saw from over here. He's 40 yards away from the play. Personal foul against.
Oh my goodness! Against the Crabbers.
I mean, I don't even know what game he was in.
Well, I'll tell you what, a replay might show this one if we get a chance to see it. And it happens right over here. They're called. No, the flag was thrown on the Bethel side. And it was thrown on, I believe, number 60. And he was the one that was thrown down by the Bethel player, yet he got the flag.
I just
15-yard penalty is a big flag. It was not called on the Hampton sideline. The flag was thrown on this side of the field. So now the 15-yard penalty really hurts the Crabbers.
If you're talking about an official taking over a game, I haven't seen
that
the
one
play
right
yet.
there. Here comes Smith, and he is not happy right now. Go ahead, Ross.
Hey guys, I'm standing in the end zone, in which the direction which Hampton's going, and you could hear the referee yelling at the Hampton High School bench and told them to be quiet, and that's I think why the flag was thrown. But the referees were really woofing at the bench of Hampton High School.
Well, this flag was thrown on the Bethel side.
Oh, nice play. Did he catch it? Oh, he almost made a miraculous catch right there. Is that Paul Shaw? Yes.
Ross, that flag is thrown over here on this side of the field.
And here comes a roughing the passer call against the Bruins. Yes, that previous call, the referee on the Bethel sideline here is the one who threw the flag. They actually threw it towards the Hampton line of scrimmage.
From that side. I couldn't believe that the referee from that side of the field, on Bethel's side of the field, could yell all the way over to Hampton's bench and make that call.
Well, we didn't get a chance to see Mitchell getting roughed up on that play, but
you can see the ball was gone.
Paul Shaw made one whale of a try on that catch. That's a 15-yard penalty against the Bruins and an automatic first down. And the Crabbers now have the ball 1st and 10 at the Bruin 33-yard line.
A minute and 7 seconds left and 2 timeouts. So here it is, folks. Crunch time. Hampton's got to get a score in a minute and 7 seconds.
This reminds me a lot of last night's Virginia Tech Boston College game.
We haven't got quite that quarterback out there right now.
No, but the time and the score and that kind of thing, you know what I mean? 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line for the Crabbers.
He's got to make something happen here.
This one's going to go to Martinez on a pitch. I just saw Mitchell tell him, watch. Get over there. Go in motion is Sean Fields. That'll be the lead blocker. Oh, he faked it. Passing down the sideline. He's thrown out of bounds, and he was forced out of bounds by one of the Bethel safeties.
Ball was uncatchable.
So that's an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 as the ball is brought back.
There was at least 3 defenders down there with that receiver. And the ball was overthrown anyway. Watch this ball. He's lofted right here. And let's see how many Bethel Bruins we count there. One. That ball's so far out of bounds.
Yeah. Hey, Ross, I've got a question for you on a ruling. 10. If a ball is uncatchable, is that a rule in Virginia High School League, or would it have been a penalty if the referee had called it? That's a question.
If the ball is not catchable, then there would be no penalty, and that does apply to VHSL.
But I wanted that clarified. Thank you very much. 2nd down and 10 for the Crabbers. Mitchell back to throw again, and now the referees will stop the play, and I guess a Hampton player may have moved early. And, the two referees on either side of the line of scrimmage are throwing a lot of flags tonight, guys. We'll wait and listen to Larry. Mr. Turley then says that the Crabbers must have lined up offside on the play.
So we're under a minute, folks. And it's now going to be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, he's walking right there offside.
Middle screen.
I ain't seen it.
2nd down and 15 now after the 5-yard penalty. Back to pass. Screen pass out here is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Martinez.
Here it comes. 3rd down and 15.
Well, this is going to be 4-down territory. It doesn't make any difference. But they've got to get 15 yards in 2 plays here. Otherwise, this contest is going to end 7-0.
He's looking at him all the way. See that? He's looking at him all the way. I mean, 77, 78 was breaking on him before the ball ever left the hands.
And even if he had caught the ball, the Bruins number 44, which is Marcus Cross, was right there to get him.
All right, he's putting 3 receivers over here on this side. 3 receivers. See if he drags somebody across the middle.
There's another one to the far side over there, and nobody on him.
Now he is.
Now he is.
Flag already.
Intercepted by Cooperwood.
He just played
at
that ball
the 34,
perfect.
and he was standing there waiting on it. Saw it all the way.
Yep. And here's a flag in the backfield.
And that's going to be a motion on the Crabbers. What's that call?
Decline. I cannot remember the last time.
Well, either way, that's a illegal substitution on the Crabbers, and it was the interception by Cooperwood will hold here, and the Bethel Bruins will take over, leading 7-0.
It's the players of the game.
Here's a replay. And that ball just kind of wiggled its way up. And unfortunately, the Crabbers are headed towards a loss here as they have 2 timeouts to stop the clock. And we'll see if Coach Smith will stop it. And they do. They stop it. As we are diligently working to try to figure out who we want to use as players of the game. I agree with that call right there.
Okay, and where'd he go?
Warwick and Heritage, if you heard over the loudspeaker now, is tied over at Todd Stadium, 24-24. So the Crabbers have 1 timeout left, trailing in this one, 7-0. 36 seconds left in the game. So the Crabbers can stop the clock at least one more time.
Okay, you ready, Andy? Okay, hold on.
He'll give it to him. That's good. So obviously the Bruins are going to kill the clock here, and they will jump offside. The Crabbers will. So 5-yard offside penalty against the Crabbers moves the ball 5 yards up the field. And it will still be 2nd down. It'll be 2nd down at 7 now. Looks like the Crabbers are going to go down in defeat for the second time this year, and that will leave the Bethel Bruins sitting alone in second place here in the district. One more snap, down he goes. As the Crabbers, let's see, are they going to call their last time out? And it looks like Mike Smith is not going to. So the Crabbers are going to let the clock run out here and not worry about calling the last time out. And with as we get count down to 17 seconds, there won't be any more plays here in the game. And as soon as Andy can put up our players of the game, we'll announce them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. There's a rivalry's back in Hampton.
Final score here at Darlin Stadium. The Bethel Bruins 7 and the Hampton Crabbers nothing. Great job by both defenses here. Mistakes by the Crabbers hurt them in the long run, but the Bethel Bruins defense came through with the shutout, and they take this one after a 15-year drought. They finally come in to defeat the Hampton Crabbers.
Here are your players of the games, folks. Coach Nelson, great job. Great first year. Players of the game for Bethel Bruins, Marcus Cooperwood. Interceptions all over the field, offense and defense. And Pierre Wynn staying in the game, making blocks, going for receptions. Just all over the field for the Crabbers, doing the best they could. So those are our two players of the game. Great job, guys. Great game.
Final score here at Darlin Stadium. The Bethel Bruins 7 and the Hampton Crabbers nothing. Today's game has been brought to you by Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula. And by Kelly's Tavern. 2 locations on the peninsula, one at Port Warwick and Newport News and the other one at Coliseum Drive in Hampton. And in part by Tidewater Team Sports, a one-stop headquarters, screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call David Chubb or David McNamara to get everything you need when it comes to uniforms and embroidery. And Eric Thompson, Realtor. Call Eric to sell or buy a home at 685-3127. And in part by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the director. Give her a call at 827-4670. And that's it here at Darlin Stadium. Final score again was the Bethel Bruins 7 and the Hampton Crabbers nothing. Mike Hauser along with Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen. Good night, everybody.
See you next week.